Boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Wednesday, December 7th, 2022, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $ ORION NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. So I got the Jets and the Vikings on right now on NFL Network. I know there's a pretty good NBA matchup that's coming on here in just a few minutes. I know I was looking through TNT. Let me actually scroll back up because we're going to have AEW Dynamite here for me in an hour. I didn't really like to peek ahead based on what I see, but I know that the Hawks and Knicks are wrapping up, but then it's going to go to the Celtics and the Suns. So I might take a peek on a little bit of that, but I'm just rewatching a little bit of the Jets and the Vikings. As you can see with the thumbnail and the background, Aaron Judge decides to re-sign with the Yankees, 9 years, $360 million. That's a big payday, and he could have gotten a little bit more. Could have got 10 years, $400 million, with a $40 million average for an extra year to go to the Padres to kind of stack the chips, because they already got Fernando Tatis Jr., they got Manny Machado, they got Juan Soto, and then if you would have added Aaron Judge to that, they still need pitching, but that would have been definitely a fearsome foursome or a brand new four horsemen. And obviously there was rumors about maybe him going to the Giants because that's where he's from, San Francisco. Same thing kind of like with Tom Brady. They grew up in that particular area, so people thought, well, maybe Aaron Judge will go back home, but the bottom line, with Aaron Judge, the Yankees need Aaron Judge more than Aaron Judge needs the Yankees. But the thing is, I can't really imagine Aaron Judge anywhere else besides New York. So I know New York fans right now are feeling pretty good based on, I know they're rowdy. I know they're passionate, but that booing in the playoffs, to some athletes, that might have been, something where it's been a little bit too much, where you're like, all right, everyone on the team is struggling. I just broke the home run record clean. Right? No steroids, no PEDs. I beat Roger Maris, got 62. Overall, the team just sucked against the Astros. No one was going to beat them. And they're lucky, the fan base, with them being so fickle and, cheering 1 minute, booing the next, a guy that's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, this is really this generation's kind of Mickey Mantle. If you're really looking at just same also goes with like Mike Trout. You got Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, and I'm hoping we can get Julio Rodriguez in the fearsome foursome as the years go on and Trout can pass the torch. And I was lucky enough, to go to a few Mariner games this season. Got a Julio Rodriguez rookie ball. I predicted I would get the ball. I got it. I said, hey, I'm going to go see Aaron Judge and the Yankees. I'm going to get an Aaron Judge ball. When most people say something like that, you look like an idiot and you're never going to get the ball. But lo and behold, I did get an Aaron Judge ball. Swooped up a nice, rookie card graded autograph too when he was on his pursuit for 62. Dropped $675. It's already worth around $9 right now. So I definitely made a good investment. And if he's going to be staying in New York, not only does this put him in like Jeter category, when it's all said and done, he could even be slightly higher than Jeter. And that's saying a lot because Jeter is like a god to these people in New York. We already know they kind of go in levels, Joe DiMaggio, Marilyn Monroe. You had the Babe Ruth, the Roger Maris, you go through down the line, and then you've gone guys like, Mr. October, with Reggie Jackson. And then obviously within the last probably 20, 30 years, the biggest name, no doubt, is obviously Derek Jeter. But now you got a guy that can do it with power and obviously is pretty good in the outfield as well. I mean, Aaron Judge could end up really cementing his legacy. He already has. But I'm just saying, if he continues to keep ripping these home runs, eventually leads New York to a World Series, maybe one or two before the career is up in like 9 or 10 years, if he decides to walk away at that point, a lot of his memorabilia is going to definitely go up. And I'm excited. I mean, I didn't really think, the Giants was like, okay, will he really go there? Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But these other teams that were supposedly like, oh, what if we get him? What if the Rockies get him? What if the Cardinals get him? What if the Cubs get him? You just have to figure out, like, is there a connection there? But really what it came down to is the Yankees trying to, lowball him. Then he bet on himself and then got an extra, 150 million added on to the deal. Good for him with all those home runs. He's very, very valuable, as we know, right? And then the other team obviously was the hometown team where he grew up with, the San Francisco Giants, right? And they just picked up Mitch Haniger from the Mariners. So I was like, I don't know if he's going to go there. And then the surprise team was the Padres. We knew the Padres had money, but I don't know if it was really like put out there in front of all the media that like the Padres are 100% all in. More people thought maybe the Dodgers would be more in, but it didn't matter, even though they offered more money. And sometimes that's how it goes as well, because Trey Turner was also offered more money, like Aaron Judge, to come to San Diego. But for whatever reason, I know Trey Turner's got family in Philadelphia. That was the reason there. But, of course, these guys, they don't really want to go play for the Padres. You got Tatis, you got Juan Soto, you got Manny Machado. But it looks like that's the cutoff point. No Trey Turner for the Padres, no Aaron Judge. And this is good for baseball, I feel. You know what I mean? Because we want to make sure that we know what New York stands for. You got Giancarlo Stanton, but you can't tell me that if Aaron Judge left to the Padres or the Giants, right? Let's say that he went to one of those two teams. Can you really be like, oh, well, Giancarlo Stanton's Yankees? He's a great player, but he's not Aaron Judge. There is a cutoff there. So big deal. $9 million. No. 9 years, $360 million, $40 million per year, which makes him the highest paid athlete per year. Well-deserved. And like I said, we're going to touch on Aaron Judge, how you guys feel about that. We'll talk about NFL, any other signings that are going on. I'm going to watch a little bit of this Vikings and the Jets. And then obviously once we get about 55 minutes in, then I got AEW Dynamite. I saw that Ricky Starks outshined MJF in a promo, obviously on Dynamite, which is nice to be able to see people that can spit on the mic. And I cheated. I actually went on Twitter and I watched like the 4.5 minute promo, because I was like, okay, what is this? Ricky Starks starting to actually spit on the mic. And he actually did a really good job, but that's the only thing that I seen from AEW tonight. I hope it was a pretty good show. And then we're going to grind it out for the next 3-4 hours, and then hopefully we can get to a good number. Hope everyone is doing fantastic. Let's go to the comments here. Just wanted to kind of get that intro out of the way. And then we're here to hang out. We can talk about food. All right, we can do NFL. We can do wrestling. And for the time being, again, I'm going to watch a little NBA. I'm going to watch a little bit of NFL and a little bit of AEW, and then we'll end up calling it a night, and we'll see how many gummies I end up taking tonight as well. So Sarah's in the building. How are you? I hope that you're feeling a little bit better. I know you feel like crap. You're not going to be going back to work probably until next week. But as long as you can hang out, and if you're just like, you're going to be on your phone or on your computer anyway. So as long as you can click buttons and you feel, up enough to be able to hang out with me for as long as you can every day until you start feeling really better yourself, that would be great, because definitely the streams are not the same without you. So appreciate that you are here very, very much. It's a totally different vibe when you're not here, and I'm always glad that you're here to regulate. So appreciate you. Daniel's in the building. What to do? How are you? Hey, let's get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. Hey, Matt, what's going on? Hawaii weather. How's it going? Vikings 20, Jets 12, end of the third quarter. And I did get a chance to watch a good chunk of that game. That's when it was actually snowing here in Oregon. And that was in the morning before we transitioned into that awesome Chiefs and Bengals matchup that we got over the weekend. Elliot, my boy, how are you, dude? Like I said, I haven't seen too much of you. Like I said, when there's times when Sarah is sick, I'm definitely going to need a backup, whether it be you or Jameson. And I don't expect Sarah to be gone too often. And I know you've been spending a lot of time with your friends. I hope everything is going good in your life. I hope your mom is doing better. Hope you and Mick and the boys are having a lot of fun, eating a lot of free pizza and shooting hoops and, enjoying each other's company. Great to see you in the room. We love you. We appreciate you. The youngest mod in the building, Elliot Evans, Mr. Pep. How are you doing? Yeah, I mean, like I said, I know everyone for the Yankees is happy. Aaron Judge fans are happy. And plus, like I said, it would just be weird. Even as like my dad being a Dodger fan, yeah, I would have loved Aaron Judge on the Dodgers or the Mariners, but I couldn't visually. The only places I could visually see him is honestly two places. Here, right, for the New York Yankees, which is the normal spot, the place where it should have been, or the Giants. And even with the Giants, the only reason is because he grew up there. And he even made, certain comments before he went pro. He's like, after I played 10 years, I want to play in San Francisco. He actually had an opportunity to fulfill his destiny based on these earlier, not necessarily maybe tweets, but just messages and letters that he wrote, to fans and family back when he had a girlfriend, hey, in 10 years, after I've been in the league, I'm going to be on the Giants and I'm going to come home. And he had a chance, but I think that he made the right decision. He could have got more money $40 million more to go another year. Same thing with Trey Turner. But you got to think, if it's a better fit, right? Why the fuck would you go to the Padres when you can go, if you're Trey Turner, you can play with Bryce Harper, and they already have a really nice squad, right? Maybe you can end up winning something really big there to go from the Dodgers, Trey Turner, to the Phillies. And then with Aaron Judge, you're going to go to the Giants. And how good are they going to be? How good is San Francisco really going to be? A borderline playoff team? Or you can go and stay with the Yankees and be a powerhouse. Yeah, you might end up in second place or third place from time to time because the Astros are good, Mariners are coming, and there'll always be another team that kind of surprises us, like maybe the Guardians, where we don't expect them to do that well, and all of a sudden they overachieve. But I'm happy, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's good for New York, it's good for Aaron Judge, it's good for collectors, and like I said, they're just going to make more and more Aaron Judge memorabilia. The stuff that I have is going to go up. And it's just awesome. And then now, moving forward, when Aaron Judge comes to Seattle, I'm going to go, and then I'm going to try to get another ball. And I'm going to, obviously, if I knew that I could get close enough where I can get Aaron Judge to sign the ball that I got, that would be a dream come true. But the thing is with Aaron Judge and a lot of these big superstars, if they sign for one, there's going to be a flood of like 400 people running down to the front row, and not everyone is going to get an autograph. So a lot of times these athletes, they won't even sign at all, or you got to catch them really, really early or after the game is over, to get that private time where more of the people are gone or going home. Because if they sign in front of like maybe 10 or 20 people, that's one thing. But if there's hundreds there, of course, people are going to get let down. Kids are going to cry. Obviously, I'm not going to get mad or upset, but it would be really awesome to meet Julio one day and meet Aaron Judge and to get those baseballs signed. Garrett Wilson with a big long run. Go, 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 go. And I would love to be able to, get those autographs. But, I already got a Julio autograph. I already got an Aaron Judge autograph. But I like it. It's good for baseball, and that's going to be great for the Mariner rivalry. What it could have been if, Mariners didn't have the money, but if we would have got Aaron Judge and Julio together, that could have been the best 1-2 punch in baseball. With a future guy coming in with Julio and then Aaron Judge, the best slugger, just wasn't meant to be. We didn't have the money, but it's going to make those rivalry games even funner now. So when the Yankees come to town, your boy's going to be there, and I'm always going to try to get that memorabilia. And I was just so lucky enough to get that Aaron Judge ball this year, as well as the Julio Rodriguez ball too. So how are you, man? What's good? What's good? Yeah, I love it too. I would have loved it for him to leave, but it's just better for baseball for him to stay. I really do feel that. So Matt Payne, what do you think about Will Stein being the Oregon host? I saw that, and I was actually hoping that you were going to pop in here so that we could kind of discuss it. UTSA, small school. That's a Tariq Woolen school, I assume, right? The UTSA. I didn't read the full article just yet because I was going to plan on doing some more reading. But I just saw, obviously the Oregon football Twitter posts and, small school. I believe it's the one that Tariq Woolen, and Tariq Woolen's stats are better than Sauce Gardner. If there's a defensive rookie of the year, it should be Tariq Woolen. You actually look at his interceptions, his pass breakups, his fumbles, touchdowns. His stats are better than Sauce Gardner, but Sauce Gardner is more popular. He's got he went to Cincinnati. He's on the Jets. He made the Jets relevant. Well, guess what? Geno Smith and Tariq Woolen made the Seahawks relevant, but it's not only that. It's Tariq Woolen, Abraham Lucas, Charles Cross, Kenneth Walker III, Geno. You got a lot of these rookies, and then Geno coming through. So I know Tariq Woolen will get hated on, but I was breaking down the stats earlier, and I was like, okay, where's this coach from? And I'm pretty sure it's from the same spot as Tariq Woolen is from. And I don't know what to think, you know what I mean? Because, yeah, you might have done really well there at the small school, but I don't trust anybody on Oregon, period. Defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, defensive play caller, offensive play caller, head coach. I am sick of Dan Lanning, and obviously we don't have to worry about Dillingham, but what you did in year one, and if you think that's acceptable, and I don't even know if we're going to be able to beat North Carolina. Honestly, we could easily lose that game. Everyone's leaving in the transfer portal, guys that, I thought that maybe would stick around or possibly think about it. So I don't know. I'm going to be able to keep an open mind, right? I'm going to keep an open mind, but I don't know enough about him. I need to go and watch the film. I need to see, what his record is. I need to see his style. Is it going to mesh with the Ducks? And the bottom line, if you watch the Ducks this year, what we really need to do is not focus as much necessarily on the offense. It's a defense. We need to get run stuffers. We need to get guys that are NFL players on the defensive side of the ball. We're automatically going to get the offensive guys because of the helmets and the jerseys and the gloves, the facilities, the girls, everything. We're going to get that. But we need better wide receivers, better running backs, even though I like the ones that we had this year. But we, what I'm saying? More depth at running back, more wide receivers, a better tight end. Offensive line was pretty good this year. Let's get some more depth. But the bottom line, we need defense. Defense. And I know Dan Lanning is a defensive guy and he recruited some guys, but after that horrible play calling, by Dillingham and himself, I think a lot of people lost trust. They're like, okay, why are we going to come here if this team is going to be so careless and stupid going forward on fourth down and 1 or fourth down and inches on their own 29 or 33 yard line? So I guess, Matt, it can't get any worse than what Dillingham did to us. Because like I said, I've been watching Oregon football since I was just a very, very small toddler. I'm 40 years old. I've been watching, since probably about 5, 6, 7 years old. So let's say 35 to, I would say roughly about 35 years, I've been watching. I don't think I've ever seen such careless play calling in my life. And I've seen, Rich Brooks. I've seen Mike Bellotti. I've gone through, Willie Taggart and then Crystal Ball. We've had Chip Kelly and Mark Helfrich. I mean, even though I didn't like Helfrich, I've seen a lot of these guys. But by far, Dillingham and Lanning, even though they're popular names, and Lanning won the championship, the Natty from Georgia the year before, this is the worst group based off hype I've seen in Oregon history. So I'm really happy that Dillingham is not there anymore, because if he was still there, I don't even know if I would want to watch Oregon football. I'm not saying that I would strike and just be against it, but I can't go through that kind of pain and heartache knowing that our team sucks on defense. We, Bo Nix was great this year, right? And the running game was good as well. But to think that, okay, we only have a couple good players on offense and defense, we might end up having 2 first rounders. Christian at corner might be a first rounder, right? So we have to see what's going on there. And then obviously, Noah Sewell, that might be another first rounder. So Ducks might have 2 first rounders, but still, with that being said, we need to have 7 or 8 quality defensive players, not 2 or 3. If you got 3 defensive guys out of 11 and maybe 4 offensive guys out of 11, not including the offensive linemen, it's tough. So we'll see what happens, but I don't know enough. I know I'm going to do some research tonight, and I'm going to break down maybe some film, see if I can read up on him, break down a little, Google search, check out his record, go through all the logistics, the analytics, the metrics. And like I said, it can't get any worse, than what we already had. But again, I'm very disappointed on how the season ended. We didn't even get a chance to go to the Pac-12 championship, but I am glad that, Utah ended up winning. But still, we have a long ways to go, and it's not like we're going to have Bo Nix next year. So now we got to be able to reload and find someone else. And so it's just, it's like a revolving door. Anytime I get comfortable with a head coach or an OC, then they fucking leave after a year or two. So, it is what it is. Nicker in the building. What to do? How are you? Matt in the building. What to do? Yeah, and I'll put up a photo of and we were already talking about this months ago. There was not very many people that love baseball, I feel, as much as me, Sarah, maybe Jameson. Elliot's starting to love baseball now as well. But we were already talking about this the day that even when the playoffs were going on in the World Series, me and Sarah were like, okay, what's free agents? We were already peeking ahead 2 months in advance. All right, look, who's going to get signed? Okay, who's retiring? Okay, Albert Pujols. Okay, he's going. Okay, Yadier Molina. Okay, he's going. They need a catcher. Guess what? The Cardinals have a great reputation. Even though the Cubs are a rival, I think we both knew 100% that he was going to sign there, and he ended up signing there as well. If you want to give the details on the length of the contract in the chat, and then I'll pull up a photo of him as well. But getting Wilson Contreras, it's the best option that you could have hoped for after having one Hall of Famer leave and then possibly maybe another Hall of Famer coming in. It's still early to call Wilson Contreras a Hall of Famer, but if he stays for the Cardinals for the rest of his career and plays like he did at the Cubs or better, pairing up with Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt, it's nice. I'm very, very excited, and he's a good defensive catcher. He can hit for power, and that's another really good, solid pickup for a guy that was going to leave the Cubs anyways and join your Cardinals. So I'm happy for you there. We already know Mitch Haniger left my team. We've gotten a couple names, nothing really too big. The Blue Jays, Teoscar Hernandez was pretty big, but we haven't really made the big splash move yet, and I don't know if we will, but I'm really happy that you got Wilson Contreras. Minnesota 20, Jets 15. And then again, I got AEW here in about 40 minutes, so please remind me when that comes up, but I will throw up a Wilson Contreras photo. Let's get a good one here. Maybe I can find one where someone has already edited him on the Cardinals, I imagine already. Wilson Contreras. Just got to make sure I spell the name correct. C-O-N-T, and then I know it's R-E-R-A-S. So I think a lot of us already kind of knew it was coming, and all the, other podcasts and other people, like I'm going to show a picture here. I mean, this has pretty much been what we already knew. Cards are, no shit. We already knew. We already knew that they were going to be targeting him. And so I'm happy that he's going there. I know Cubs fans are sick right now. Like the ones that don't maybe they didn't follow the team as much as maybe in years past when they were in their World Series. But I've seen some Cubs fans that were genuinely shocked that I was like, okay, you're shocked that he left. Are you not a fan? Are you not watching? Have you not been reading? It's been all over the internet, and it's been all over the beat writers and the organization. It was more than likely he was not coming back, that he was going to leave. So, but like I said, one team's loss is another team's gain. Let me get you another photo here. But I am happy for you. And then now you don't have to worry about catcher, for the next, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and as good as Yadier Molina was, I'm not saying Wilson Contreras is going to be better than Yadier Molina because I don't think he will be, but he'll be close. He'll be the closest thing to Yadier Molina that was available on the market. And even if there was other catchers on the market, we already know that Yadier is one of the, top 5, top 10. Same thing with Wilson Contreras. So I'm not really sure if there was another catcher that you could grab that would be just as good as Wilson or better. But yeah, shout out to the Cardinals. And I feel bad for the Cubs fans, for the ones that don't pay attention to sports. But this is going to be huge for the Cardinals and tough, obviously for the Cubs. But the Cubs aren't the same team anymore. They're not. They don't got Chris Bryant. They don't have the same players that they had when they were making their run at the World Series a few years back. You know what I mean? But I guess some people are just living in the past, and that's big facts. So, yes, that's huge. Oh, I bet. My dad's best friend, Barry's from New York. He was also a teacher at Canby High School. And, obviously my dad is a Dodger guy. So they'll be going back and forth with banter, Yankees stuff, Dodgers stuff. My dad doesn't need to really talk shit. My dad's been a fan, of the Dodgers since the 50s. Barry's been a fan of the Yankees, since the 50s. These guys are a little older, they're in their 70s. And they'll, bicker a little bit, but usually my dad isn't the type to argue. He'll just, he'll listen, you know what I mean? And obviously my dad will probably read a little bit more than my dad's friend Barry, but I know Barry would have been really upset, like a lot of Yankees fans, if he would have ended up leaving. So good for them. Let me see here. Weather's okay. All right. Jameson in the building. How are you? What's good? Yeah, I saw that from him to go to the Dodgers and then the Braves, and then he dipped again. I was like, damn. You know what I mean? But I guess, good closers are hard to find. And, he had the heart palpitation thing. And, he had to be sidelined a little bit when he was in LA. And we haven't had anybody better. This right here, right? The replacement, Kimbrel, he's not the same. You know what I mean? And when we had Kenley Jansen, that's when we were at our best. And now the Dodgers don't have him. The Braves don't got him. And I don't know. I'm just, it just sucks when you end up getting a guy and you just get him and then already he's gone again. So, yeah, we'll have to see how it all plays out for your Braves if you can get any big names. But anytime you lose somebody, it kind of hurts, you know what I mean, depending on who you bring in. And that is big facts. Yeah, I am glad that Judge, and like I said, that's going to make the memorabilia, go up more, because like I said, even if he went to because let's say he goes to the Padres. That first Padre card that comes out with his jersey piece and the autograph's going to go for some money. But the collectors like me, we're going to want the old stuff. I'm looking for the rookies. I'm looking for the autograph patches. I'm looking for the piece of the cleat, the piece of the bat, the piece of the jersey. I'm looking for, something Aaron Judge from his rookie year and something signed. But unfortunately, a lot of that stuff is very expensive. But at least I got mine, before it blew up in price, because most of the Aaron Judge stuff, the good stuff, is over $1,000 now. Like if you want a graded 9 or higher, you're paying over $1,000 now for his rookie stuff that's signed. If you're just looking for a rookie card, you can get one for under $500, depending on if you want like a 9 or a 10. But if you have a choice between getting like a rookie card, right? A rookie card graded or a rookie card graded autograph, you're going to get the autograph. That's the one that's going to go up. And like I said, my $675 investment could turn into a couple thousand down the road. So I'm really happy that I took advantage of it when I did, because think about it. If he ends up, being in the running to break his own record, to go from 62 to 63, I know that the card market is just going to go crazy. And baseball cards are hot. Football cards, you would think would be really hot, but they're not as hot as baseball cards and basketball cards. Maybe it's just being able to see the faces of the players more. Football cards can be hot, but it's more of like a seasonal thing. Baseball cards and basketball usually are a little bit more consistent. People buy those a little bit more, but obviously a really good football card can go a long ways, like a Justin Herbert rookie card autograph graded. I don't have one yet, or Mahomes, but I will be investing in guys like that before they get up too much in price. Because if I keep waiting, I don't want to have to pay like $1,500 for like, a really, really good solid card. You know what I mean? Like, of course I can get like a $50 Mahomes or a $50, Justin Herbert, but I'm an investor, I'm a collector. So I want to try to be able to like get it at a good deal. And I'm never really going to flip it to sell it, but just to see it gain value. And then if I ever need something, then I already know that I have that and it's gaining value. So that's big facts. But yeah, the Kenley Jansen thing is tough, but the Braves are the Braves. They're still going to be one of the best. Braves, Cardinals, Dodgers, Padres. Now you got the Phillies with Trey Turner. I mean, fucking the National League is just crazy. And on the American League side, we pretty much got the Astros, the Yankees, and I think the Mariners are coming. So it's like we're going to be, I think, third or fourth. We're there, but we still got to prove it and get back there again. So baseball's got more great teams in the National League, but the American League team, if they're really, really good, usually that might be the team that ends up winning it all, just like we've seen with the Houston Astros this year. So, yeah, I mean, if this new offensive coordinator goes for it on 4th down and does this questionable play calling, I don't know, man. It's one thing if you do it and you're Chip Kelly and you have LaMichael James and you have DeAnthony Thomas and you have, Darren Thomas, and you have the key pieces, and you have NFL players on offense and defense, and you know what I mean? It's a full team. Chip is Chip. There's never going to be another Chip Kelly, but a lot of these coaches think they're Chip Kelly, not only in high school, but college and the NFL, and they all think that they can execute like Chip did. And even though Chip went for it on 4th down a lot, right? He still, even though his percentage was probably better than everyone else's, it still wasn't like great. You know what I mean? Like you go for it on 4th down and 8. Most of the time it's going to be like 5 to 10% with Chip Kelly. He probably was getting like on 4th down, I would say maybe 20 to 35% conversion rate, when he would time it. You know what I mean? It would hurry up. And then the defense is not set. Let's go for it. It wasn't like, okay, we're doing a play. We're resting. We're talking. Timeout. Defense is set. Okay, 4th down and 5. Let's go for it. The defense has already been set for 5 minutes. Of course, they're going to know what's going on. But when Chip did it, it was like, hurry up. The defense couldn't substitute. They're tired. Hands on the hips. Oh, 4th down and 4. Fuck you. Boom. And we go LaMichael James. We don't got LaMichael James. We don't got DeAnthony Thomas. So, it's all about the game plan. And, unless you have a team mirrored like what Chip had and that same philosophy, then it could be a little bit more successful. 5 to 10% for everyone else. Him, maybe 20 to 35%. But the problem is every fucking coach thinks they can get 20 to 35% like Chip. And what is the real answer? Hell no. We've seen it on NFL. We've seen it in high school. We've seen it in college. The percentages are still very, very low. And you still see coaches do it. But I totally agree, bro. Well, I mean, if I had hair, I would have already pulled it all fucking out, dude. This season, Matt, for me in Oregon football, is my most disappointing season of all time. Out of all the seasons I've ever watched Oregon Duck football, and no lie, there's been years where we've won 1 game, 2 games, but I knew what we were. I knew who we were. You know what I mean? And I knew where we were going, right? This is the worst, like, as far as like coaching and play calling I've ever seen. And it's just a fucking blessing for Bo Nix. If we didn't have Bo Nix, we probably would have won like 4 games this year. You know what I mean? So if we would have had Thompson or someone else. So, or, Butterfingers that transferred away. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm so looking forward to next year, but I'm still not feeling great about Dan Lanning. I have a horrible taste in my mouth, from what he did this year and with Dillingham. Dillingham more than him, because obviously he's a defensive coordinator, head coach, but we don't have good defense. So hopefully these recruits that come in, we get some Georgia players or some like guys from the SEC, but if you're going to play football like you did this year, they're going to change their mind. You know what I mean? So I am hoping that he'll bring over a Kayvon Thibodeau clone from the SEC in the next couple of years. Otherwise, his bitch ass is gone. And honestly, I would say probably 90% of the hardcore Duck fans were already ready to move on to the next coach. You know what I mean? I get it. You're a big name. All right, but we don't give a fuck here in Oregon. Yeah, you're a name. We've had other names too. Chip Kelly, Mario Cristobal, Willie Taggart, all these guys. What has happened with almost all of them? When their alma mater calls down the road, right? If Kirby Smart gets fired or they have some rough patches and they decide to move on, who do you really think is the first phone call that's going to come up in college football or the pros? Hello, Dan? Yeah, we just let Kirby go. Do you want to be head coach of Georgia? Fuck Oregon. Bye. Like, he ain't staying. There's no amount of money that Oregon could give him. We could give him $500 million for 5 years, right? And if $100 million a year, and he still wouldn't stay. He would go to, and I would leave too. I wouldn't stay at Oregon. Go back to Georgia, where your NFL players are at. So, there's no loyalty in college football. So that's why we love Rich Brooks here. He was in our team for a long time in the 80s. We love Mike Bellotti, but the full reality is that you can't let coaches stay for like 10 years. It's a business now. So it's like, you got to hope a coach stays for like 5. Before it was like, okay, I hope he stays for 10. But, it's very rare to have a guy like Saban that's just going to be there and never leave. It's very, very rare. But yeah, I'm over Dan Lanning. If he got fired tomorrow, I'm not going to shed one fucking tear. I'd be, printing out a piece of paper with his face on it and fucking kicking it out the fucking window, crumpling it up, and Kobe into the trash. I don't give a fuck about him. I don't owe my loyalty to him for anything. And like I said, luckily Bo Nix was here, but yeah, fuck Dillingham, fuck him. Sorry, Dan. I wish I felt a little bit better, but you are responsible. That was your guy. You let that guy let that go. Not only in 1 game, but 2 games. You cost us in 2 games, Oregon State and UW. But honestly, if we would have went to the Pac-12 championship against Utah, we would have got fucking crushed. We would have got crushed probably more than USC did. So it's probably good that we didn't end up winning. But yeah. Oh man, it's bad, dude. It's bad. I they say forgive and forget. I will never forget. And like I said, I've gone through 35 years of Duck football, and this was the worst for me because, like the expectations, who he is, defensive coordinator of the country, the best in the world, right? And then you have some fucking schmuck calling plays on 4th down and 1 on your own 29-yard line or 33-yard line, knowing if the player slips, you fumble, incomplete pass, sack lunch, whatever, turnover on downs. All they have to do is literally get the ball, look up, kick a field goal, don't even run a play, and the game is over and they win. Why, in your right mind, would you think that would be okay? In any level, Pop Warner to NFL. That, you know what I mean? Like, I thought Kellen Moore was a fucking idiot, with McCarthy on Cowboys running the draw on the 50-yard line against the Niners with no timeouts. Did you really think Dak was going to run for 50 yards and then you were going to win the game? I don't know. I mean, like stuff like that. I mean, I'm an analytic stat guy, play calling kind of guy, and I don't put up with just dumbass behavior like that. And once you burn me like that, there's no coming back. I will never forgive. Like Dan Lanning could get us to a natty and win it 2 years from now. I still would not acknowledge him. I'm sorry, I wouldn't. Like, would I be happy that Oregon won? Yeah, but I'm not going to acknowledge it. Oh, Dan Lanning, like that guy doesn't even exist in my brain anymore, man. Yeah, I feel you. I know. Well, yeah, Sarah's got to kick Jameson while he's down. Already lost one, but yeah, that is true. I did see that they are looking at Dansby. I know quite a few teams are looking at Dansby. I mean, that is a hot commodity. So, you know what? I totally agree. I think I liked Mario, motherfucker. I liked him. I was like, this is the first guy I actually like after Chip Kelly. I actually liked you, Mario, but I knew, you this. But that's not relevant anymore. They're not the U from the 80s, with Michael Irvin, right? They're not the U of the early 2000s when they had Ken Dorsey and like Jeremy Shockey, Willis McGahee, Clinton Portis. This is not the same, type of roster, from back then in the 80s, the 90s, or the early 2000s, the last time they were extremely dominant. The turnover chain was cool, right? But then he wanted to abolish it and take it away. But you're not going to ever recruit the same way ever again. For the U, the Gators, or Florida State. The Florida schools are always going to have athletes, but it's never going to be like it was in the 80s and 90s where all three of those schools were like top of the country. Also like when Nebraska, Jameson's team was like amazing. Like, we haven't been able to see Nebraska recover from, having Osborne and having one of the best in the country, because that's what Nebraska needs. If they ever want to get back on the map, or like Texas and some of these schools that have been off the map for a while, you need to find the best fucking coach on planet Earth. Someone that everyone admires, someone that's a game changer. And there's not a lot of those guys that are out there, unfortunately. It was kind of the right place, the right time, the right recruits, the right running backs, the right head coaches. And Nebraska had a stretch of about 3 to 4 years where they were the number 1 or number 2 team in the country. And it was awesome. You know what I mean? So I know Jameson is a fan because of that time period, and I hope Nebraska can get back to that. But it's just like with Oregon football, you're going to have your certain moments where you're great, but a lot of times these coaches, there's no loyalty. And then the players know it too. You hear them recruit the players and they talk to the mom and dad. Oh, listen, Janice, I love Matt so much, and we're going to take care of him. Go Ducks. Or we're going to make sure he gets a good education. We're going to make sure he gets his bachelor's. We're going to take care of him. Right. And then 1 year later, motherfucker just leaves and just goes to another school. And then that guy that could have played with us transfers. So, that's just how it goes. And I know that would be maybe a controversial statement, but I totally agree. I think Mario would have had a better legacy if he would have stayed here with Oregon, and he could have made like something for our program, like could have put us like in the top 4 at some point, with recruiting, and just keep building the program year in, year out, year in, year out. You know what I mean? He's a likable guy. I like him a hell of a lot more than Dan Lanning. So, and Mario seemed more genuine and real to me. Lanning doesn't seem as genuine to me. So he's got to earn my trust again. Yeah, and it's tough, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't understand football. Like they watch football, they love football, but they don't like play Madden, or they don't understand like coverages or like the actual play calling and scheme of things, just like baseball. Baseball is more than just, a guy pitching to a batter and, got to get the 3 outs and it's boring and, the games are long. Like you have to look at the little intricacies that make it great. Double plays, triple plays, guys shifting, just there's all kinds of strategy that goes involved. How long you keep your pitcher in and everything in football as well. Are you calling runs? Are you calling passes? Are you doing run, pass, first down, second down, third down? Are you doing pass, run? Or are you doing run, play action, or play action on first down? There's all kinds of, things to be able to kind of get one step ahead, but you don't want to have paralysis by analysis. You want to make sure that, you're ahead of them. I'm playing chess, you're playing checkers, but a lot of people with coaches, they think that everyone can do it. And as we can see, not everyone is a great coach in baseball, NFL, or in the NBA. That's big facts. Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, I know. I bet. I mean, and a lot of the same players that like, the Braves and the Cardinals and the Cubs, like you guys are just kind of intermingling in that division where the other rival wants the player. I understand why. A lot of the players that are in your guys' division is very good. And if you can swoop one of those players, could definitely take that other team that gets them to the next level. But the Contreras Man, that's nice. That's nice. So now you don't even have to worry. And he's not going to be disgruntled and be like, I want to leave, because going from the Cubs to the Cardinals is a huge upgrade. You're going from a team that's, below 500 or at 500, maybe 1 year out of 5, 20 games above 500, maybe, but not really a top dog anymore, right? Now you get to go to the Cardinals and you're going to end up being one of the top 4 teams or 5 teams in the National League, with the Dodgers, the Braves, the Cardinals, the Phillies, the Padres. So you're going to be one of those teams that, will probably end up making an NLDS, but maybe NLCS sooner than later. So it's going to be exciting to see how it all plays out for sure. 27-22 Vikings, 2nd down and 4. It's crazy. The Jets are actually fun to watch. When Zach Wilson was out there, he couldn't throw the ball. Mike White can throw for 300 yards. Garrett Wilson is like a budding superstar at wide receiver. If Breece Hall was still playing, the Jets would be getting so much more love, because Breece Hall is like Kenneth Walker III. Like, you got to watch him. Like, when you watch him, you're like, ooh, like this is the next like fantasy guy next year. You know what I mean? Like, if you're looking for an RB2 or a flex or maybe, someone that you can have as an RB1, depending on if you go wide receiver or tight end heavy, like Breece Hall, if he can come back from the injury, and Kenneth Walker, we got 2 like budding superstars that could turn in to top 10 running backs. That's exciting. You know what I mean? Like, look at all the great running backs we have now. Now we got 2 new ones, and it's going to happen next year too. And then you can see like Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson, the guys from like Ohio State. They're like, you can see it like, maybe they're top 30, top 20 wide receivers, but if they keep working hard, maybe top 15, and maybe a couple years after that, maybe top 10. And then you're also going to see that with like Najigba and Marvin Harrison Jr., obviously going from Ohio State, the Ohio State University. I can't wait to see where those guys go. And it's also one of those rules, if there is rookie wide receivers in fantasy, right, grab one. You might not grab the right one, but think about it. Romeo Doubs played pretty well. Christian Watson playing awesome, right? Garrett Wilson playing good. So sometimes if you need depth, instead of going for that like name, that guy, the name, maybe try going for a rookie wide receiver late in the draft. Take a chance. A lot of these guys end up panning out, and if you end up being patient and you hang on to him, he might end up turning into your wide receiver number 2 or your flex, and you might end up even winning your league based off a guy like a Christian Watson type of player. That's why I'm always watching so much college ball, so that way I can kind of get a gauge on not only fantasy, but what might happen, throughout the season. So. Yeah, 5 years, 87.5 milli. It's a good deal. It's a good deal. And then Cubs fans on the internet, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And I'm thinking to myself, I got people in the room that we've been, following baseball for all the teams. I thought it was clear that he wasn't coming back. Like, they just like lost their lids. So you can definitely tell the people that really follow baseball or football or wrestling, and the people that are like kind of pretenders. They're like kind of bandwagon fans. They only kind of try to like be a poser, like, yeah, I'm a fan, or maybe you own a jersey, but they're not really watching all the games or not reading. If you love your team and you're investing money in a jersey or your time, you might as well do yourself a favor and at least read a little bit, and watch some film, watch the game. You're making an investment. You might as well. You don't want to be that dumbass guy in the group where you all come together and talk sports and you're the guy that doesn't know what he's talking about or she's talking about. I don't think anybody in this fucking room, because we're the best of the best here. We're fanatics here. So we ain't average here. Yeah, but that's not going to happen. He had his run. He ain't coming back. We're just going to go for that new face and that new name. Yeah, but I did like Mario, and Chip was my favorite. Besides, Mike Bellotti was my number 1. Because he was like kind of like the grandpa figure, kind of like in my Buccaneer situation. It was like Tony Dungy, right? Where he was really conservative, really likable, right? But we needed someone to kind of take us to the next step, right? Give us more like creative play calling. And then we got rid of Dungy and got Gruden, and it took us to the next level. Same thing. We had Mike Bellotti, and then, eventually we ended up getting Chip Kelly, and then, it took the program to the next level. That is the number one target for Oregon. If I'm Oregon, if we get him, we can do like what we did this year with with Bo Nix. If we don't get a player of that caliber, who knows what's going to happen with us? We might end up dropping off into mediocrity. We still are Oregon Ducks, but I'm really hoping we grab him. That like out of all the quarterbacks in the transfer portal, that's the one that I want, hands down, no question. And there is a lot of like Samoan and Hawaiian and like that type of vibe. So when you get those players that have that Samoan or that vibe of those Islanders that love to come to USC and Oregon, sometimes we could swoop those guys because they know how much love we have for the culture. And we actually have people on our coaching staff that are Samoan, that are from the Pacific Islands, and USC also as well. So that's kind of part of the recruiting tool that other places in the country, they don't have that. Oregon and USC, we do. And sometimes Washington will as well. And we can scoop some guys that maybe wouldn't come to our school, but they're like, damn, these guys have a lot of this culture. And then we swoop them and they come in. So they have that Asian and that Pacific Islander and Samoan culture. But I'm hoping we grab them. I don't know what the chances of us grabbing them, though. Yeah, there's a lot of people transferring right now. Tyree in the building. What do you do? What's good? Yeah, but he can throw, though. We could use him like Cam Newton, but we can use him in any offense, but we don't necessarily have to be under center with him. Anybody that comes to Oregon, we can run a spread offense and RPO, and then, we either hand it off or we throw it. Or we can go 3 wide, 4 wide, 5 wide. So, it is what it is, but Tyree's liking the news about the Aaron Judge. I know. That's why he's in here. He's like, oh, man, Aaron Judge, dude. Back to the Yankees. He's like, yes. Yes. Yeah, and she's here. So, like I said, that means a lot, too, because the streams are not the same without her. I need to have that, that Batman to the Robin. And when she's not in here, I don't have the same structure. And then if she's not in here and Jameson's not here, the backup, or Elliott, and the backup to the backup, then it's like, I don't want to have to say certain things on the stream where, that's kind of what her thing is. And it's just always smoother and it's always better conversation. But like I said, only stay until you feel that, if you need to go to sleep or whatnot, but it's definitely going to be better when you're in here. That's for sure. 42-30 Celtics on the Suns. Maybe I should peep that for a second. I do like Devin Booker. He's a good player, and I like Tatum more. So why don't we click on that? Because I don't really. There's like probably about 8 teams in the NBA. If they're on, I might peek. Like it's Luka's on. Okay. If who it is, let me. Okay, Steph Curry. Okay, yeah. Okay, Joker. Okay. Oh, Embiid. Yeah. Tatum. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna swoop this a little bit. That's what you got to do as a sports fan. You gotta, like, even if I don't like the NBA or college hoops as much as I did when I was growing up, it used to be my number one, right? But I still need to be able to watch, so that way when I make predictions, I can make people money and I can show the ESP and flex the knowledge that I don't have to watch every game throughout the year, but I can still predict the outcome at the end. So Jameis Ameza with a $2 holla. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang, bang. Thank you. $2 holla. What do you want to do for photos? We can do baseball. We can do football. We can do whatever. You want some Atlanta Braves, whatever you like, let me know. $2. Let's get to a hundo. And again, if you have Twitter, if you want to do me a solid, like and retweet the live stream. I do posts, but obviously the main one is the live stream. Because if you do the live stream, then more people on your timeline, and it'll go down more feeds, and then it'll get more views. And we actually have been doing really good on the Twitter, considering I just got it linked up like not too long ago. And we usually get 20 to 300 extra views just on that platform, which is kind of nice. More eyeballs to be able to see me. And obviously the people that are watching me on there are people that aren't subbed to the channel. Most of them, they're like new. They're like, what is this? And they see the photos come up, or they want to kind of see what the vibe is, but they can't comment on Twitter. They have to come here to comment or sub or donate. So, but they can still kind of get like an idea of what we're about. So, which is cool. So I appreciate you guys. Let me know what you want to do for photos. And then I got AEW in 11 minutes. All right, time for some Mango Madness Snapple. DeAndre Ayton just got ate up by the Celtics. Oh, what's up? Okay. Paisley's been a bad girl. She got booted out of the bedroom, so she's going to hang out with Daddy. Well, she won't bite me. You got to get her a treat. You want me to get her? Yeah, I mean, I would love to be at 20,000. Don't get me wrong. I mean, like I said, people that say that YouTube and Twitch and people that stream that don't care about, numbers or people in the room or subs or where you're going or donos. I mean, everything kind of all comes together, but I will get there, and like I said, sometimes we just got to get the right type of people. And we would have already been there. We've already been there twice, but we would have already been there again. But we've booted out more people from the channel in the last maybe 8-9 months than we've have ever in the existence of the channel. So, but if we can keep the peace, and so we don't have to deal with too much stupidity or trolls, then it ends up being a little bit better. So, oh, hello. I thought you might be coming in today or tomorrow. How are you? Yeah. So, we're just hanging out, talking a little bit about the Aaron Judge. And then watching a little bit of basketball, a little bit of wrestling, keeping up on a little bit of everything NFL wise, and glad that you're here. Well, we missed you. Yeah. And like I said, it's been up, it's been down, we kind of go through phases. Sarah's been a little under the weather, and it's definitely, the streams are not the same if, we don't have the same normal people here, but we got a good core group, and it's nice to have the sisters in the building with Holly and Sarah, so you guys can conversate and catch up a little bit. And I'll pull up a photo or two here for Jameson, and anything you guys want to discuss, please do. And yeah, and then we just kind of went over the Aaron Judge. We've been talking about the Oregon Ducks. We just, our offensive coordinator that ruined the season for us took the job at Arizona State, so mentally checked out, and we ended up hiring already a brand new offensive coordinator from a very small school. So I got some Duck people kind of asking, what do you think about this? Oh, is this good or bad? And, we don't even know yet, but it can't be any worse than what we were getting with Dillingham calling, 4th down and ones on our own 29 or 31 yard line. I mean, there's no excuse for that. So, oh, wow. Jimmy Johnson, old school commercial, him in the Lowe's. Oh my God. This is Sports Center. Wow. Man, those were so epic back in the day. Remember those? They had the athletes, and they were like, it was like, oh God, with Stuart Scott, and then they would have the different athletes like being like in the office and stuff, like Kevin Garnett and like the Boston Tea Party, with like Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce. Wow, those commercials are so cool. But we've missed you. Hopefully everything is good in your life. Oh, well, I hope things get better. I know a lot of times, you got to take a break if, the Chiefs lose. Social media, some people can be mature, some people can't. But yeah, anytime if things get to a point where feeling a little low, sleepy, or just kind of, need like a pick me up or a boost, we all could feed off each other. Because like even myself, I mean, I was starting to get to a point where I was getting burnt out. I mean, we were going every day for like 6 months straight, so I had to take a day off. But then even with that being said, me being kind of like a grinder and a hustler and, that sympathy and empathy. And it's like, I almost felt guilty. Like I should be working. I can't even enjoy my time off, but to disconnect from sports and just watch Alaska programs and The Simpsons and Rick and Morty and The King of the Hill and Bob's Burgers and just try to, enjoy my vibes and go back to being a kid when things were like, easy and fun. And all I had to worry about was what was for dinner and, what cartoon I'm going to watch, how much basketball I'm going to get, or when I'm going to the card shop. When am I going to get some pack of Fleer Ultra, or, when am I going to trade some cards with the fellas or whatever and stuff. So, yeah. But yeah, it's good to get a pick me up. And I was starting to feel kind of, gosh, I'm getting kind of burnt out, and you know what I mean? And the donos have been up and down, and, and then I took the day, and on Saturday, I'm going to go to the Blazer game. We're going to go to that big arcade in Portland. It's like 2-3 stories tall, this huge building. And it's got old school retro pinball, like, Kiss, AC/DC, Goonies, like all kinds of X-Men, like crazy pinball stuff, like high-end pinball and old school. But then it's got like the Mortal Kombat, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Mario Kart, the Cruisin' USA, the Cruisin' World, all the different video games, NBA Hang Time, all of those other things. So, oh, no worries. Just writing back in a message. Yeah, and like I said, we sometimes we go. I no, I read it. And like I said, there's things have been rough for me. I mean, I'm always going to be genuine and honest. You know what I mean? If things are going good, if things are going a little rough, whether we're talking just my life or dono wise, but the thing is, there's always another day. And there's always another day. You just gotta. Okay, you have a tough day. Tomorrow's another day. What can we do to improve the day? And I think Paisley just took a big old fat dump, because now all of a sudden I'm smelling a poo party, and she's laying on my foot. So that might be the sign. So give me a second, but things will get better. And no worries. Like I said, when things happen, like I said, if we end up hitting good numbers, we're going to hit good numbers. If I'm not able to hit a good number, as long as I can pay my rent and pay my bills, all it means is that I can't hook up Johnny, as much. I can't afford that. Trying to upgrade my, visual for my channel, investing in myself. I have to not pay for that, do my own, and then, use that to pay more bills or Paisley, things of, that nature and whatnot. So, we just have to adjust. But, the number one thing is we just need to make sure that we are okay. Like I said, all of us are grinders. Most of the people in the room, you guys are like me. You guys are very hard workers. You're grinders. You work hard for your money. You work hard for your accomplishments. Work hard for your legacy and, pride for your name on what you do. I mean, all of us love to be fucking lazy at some point, but you can't be lazy if you have like goals and dreams and like a profession, or, everyone can just relax after, and you can have your me time, but you got to grind. And sometimes things happen, where we have a setback from our grind, illness or some kind of thing happens. And yeah, like I said, if we end up having any kind of issues here, and also mental health is big too. Remember, like I've gone through the lowest of low, and I still kind of check up on Johnny and stuff. And you know what I mean? It's like, you can think that someone's life is so good, and like, oh, like a lot of people would love to be Johnny, or to be like graphic designers for people on YouTube, or they're and it's not only they get to do it for people on YouTube. It's not that. It's that those guys that do like the editing, for the big channels, or do thumbnails here or for other channels, they're like artists. That's how I perceive them, and that's why I have no problem paying for their look, because it is a look. It's like what the font is and how you layered the photos, and it is a work of art. And so that's why I think I appreciate people, whether it be someone like Holly that draws, or someone that is like Johnny, that has that artistic ability, but does it with pictures and can come up with the most visually stunning, but sometimes simplistic, artwork in a thumbnail. I mean, it is like a work of art to be able to be very good at. And I feel he's one of the best in the world. And, all he would have to do is create a portfolio and, show that off, and you would be able to get clients instantly. And it would only take like one or two full-time YouTubers, besides me and a few others that he already works with. And then you'd have enough money if, you were charging your prices, you're doing like 30, 35 per, people will pay, it's just, You know, you got to know your worth. So yeah, but no worry. And like I said, you come for health comes first. And like I said, especially if we're not able to do certain things, then this starts messing with us. Then we start, doubting ourselves, and we start feeling low. We start feeling sad. The fucking weather starts getting bad. It's fucking rainy. It's cloudy. It's not fucking sunny outside. You have like seasonal depression, and then you start getting into your own head, and maybe you start drinking more or smoking more, doing other things more, right? So you can be your own enemy too. It's like you got to be. So that's why it's always important to know who you are, and accept who you are, but also know what's going to make you better. So if you haven't been listening to music, listen to some music. If you haven't been hanging out with people face to face or like a group here, and you think that maybe it would, come through, it's only going to make it better. It will never be worse after you come in here. You're either going to leave the same where you were, or we're going to be able to perk you up and get you a little bit better to being your normal self after. And that's the truth. And it doesn't even have to be me. It could be anybody in the room. So I bet, dude. I know you like this background. It's like, oh, dude, he's like, this guy does a baseball. He does the Aaron Judge. It's nice to be able to have fans that because some people only do NFL, only do one sport. So for me to be able to do everything, and I feel like I can connect with anyone. I mean, it takes a lot of effort to be able to read and keep up with everyone's names and, what's going on. But if you love it, it's, not really a job. You want to be knowledgeable and whatnot. So yeah, I'm happy for you, man. And it was a dream come true getting that Aaron Judge ball and getting that rookie card this year. I mean, I never thought I would be dropping that kind of investment money on an Aaron Judge rookie card auto, let alone be like, okay, I'm going to get an Aaron Judge ball. And then it happened. The chances of that happening are, I don't even know. More than 1 in a million. That's for sure. Especially when only 3 baseballs, were available to go out to the crowd. Sometimes the Yankees will throw the ball into the crowd after the inning ends. Well, at least that's what the Mariners do. So that's 9 extra baseballs that go into the crowd when you go to a Major League Baseball. Oh, awesome. 3rd out. Boom. They look in the crowd. They usually give it to a guy. Mariners, it's usually J.P. Crawford. Then he goes to the Mariner section and then looks, right? And then usually we'll throw it either 15 to 20 rows up or maybe a flip to a kid, but it's going to depend on, each inning. But like for the Yankees, for whatever reason in that game, they only did 3 instead of 9. They just left the ball on the mound. It was weird. And there was Yankee fans, you could tell, that probably traveled from, Idaho, Montana, Alaska, Cali, because, when the Yankees come to Seattle, there's a lot of fucking Yankee fans. I mean, Yankees are fucking everywhere. Like you could have the whole building Yankees, right? So that was a little strange. But the cool thing was, again, Aaron Judge was the one. So it's like you have, boom, double play. You have pitcher, maybe a couple other people, first baseman, second baseman. Rizzo grabs it, boom. Judge gets it, and then you get the ball. You know what I mean? So you get like 4 or 5 guys that, obviously had that in that particular inning. But yeah, for whatever reason, they did 3 of them, and I was lucky enough to be one of those. So, and the only one in that distance, which was crazy because the other ones were just like within the first 3 rows, like a flip, and then another one that maybe went like, oh, here, boom, like 10 rows to like the right or whatever. So to like actually look up from the Yankee dugout and then like connect and then try to be in that general range, especially when you're sitting in the middle. I wasn't on the aisle, so all I could do is reach over behind me or left and right, and if I wasn't within 5 feet of in that area around me, I'm not getting the ball. But it just so happens that it was right there. So, yeah, crazy. To Dalahala. No worries. No worries. I mean, like I said, if you got to make sure you take care of everything that is important, which is food and the kitties. Bang, bang. But I do appreciate the effort because, I think all of us are in the same boat. Sometimes things are good, sometimes things are bad, but we can try to support each other the best way that we can. And that's what it's about. And we can definitely get some, oh my gosh. And this place is the best. It's the best one in Oregon. We have like 3, one in Salem. We got like one in Portland, and there's probably another one, in another part of, Eastern Oregon or Southern. They got their own spot. But as far as like the big suburbs and city, if you're going to go to one, it's amazing. And I'm trying to think about how many total arcade machines they have. Over 100. So we're talking about a big place, not like an arcade that's got 20 or 50. Like it's the real deal, like multiple floors. Pretty exciting. So, and like we'll try to beat a game, whatever we're playing. So it's like we can go and do like a fighting game or something, but we usually like to play like the shooting games together or basketball together or against each other or NFL, blitz or hang time, things of that nature. So $4 and donos. Let's get to a hundo. Oh no, you haven't. Oh no. Oh no. We've missed you. And like I said, if you are going to be not necessarily bedridden, but you're going to have to be limited on where you go and who you talk to, there would be more of a reason to try to come through and just hang out. Don't even worry about, if you got stuff that you need to take care of. That's more important than me. You know what I mean? And you can come through. It's like there is no pressure, or guilt trip. It's just sometimes people need to hang out. You know what I mean? And never feel that, and I know you don't, but there's no obligation ever to support me up into that level. It's because you guys care so much you do it. But again, we have to take care of our animals. We have to take care of this, but sometimes taking care of this means that we're hanging out, so we missed you. It's not the same without you. And I was going to message you, later today or tomorrow morning, because I felt that I knew you were going to come through at some point. And I already saw your message previously that after the Chiefs loss, you're going to stay off social media for usually 3 days because a lot of Chiefs people can be toxic after a loss. And also, other fans maybe of the division poking fun if there's interaction with other fans in the AFC West or other people. But but like you said, still one of the best teams in football, still could win the Super Bowl. It's just now it's a little bit more even, where it's the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Bengals, and it's the Eagles. And you could also say Cowboys and Vikings, but I don't know if we feel that those two are on the Eagle level compared to the Bills, Bengals, and Chiefs, where those are like amazing teams, right? Eagles is an amazing team. Not disrespecting Dallas is not amazing or Minnesota's not amazing, but I think we need to see them do it, to give them that justification. So let me put a corgi up and then let me go and investigate the poo-poo party. And then I'll be back with the poo-poo party. Nothing like a poo-poo party. It's going to be a good one. But we've missed you.
Let's check in on the Thunder versus the Grizzlies. The third quarter here. John Moran. Drives, hangs, smooth with the roll. John finishes with 26 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists, and a brain. The Grizzlies win. We'll see you for halftime in 60 seconds. Take a picture.
What's that? New iPhone? Yep, I just got the new iPhone 14 with its amazing camera at T-Mobile. I don't want to know.
Just head to T-Mobile this holiday and get gifts for the whole family with 4 iPhone 14s on us and 4 lines of unlimited for $25 a line.
Wow.
Wow is right, and T-Mobile has price lock guarantee. Like the other big guys, we guarantee we won't raise the price of your rate ever.
All right, so I'm back. Okay, Paisley, you can come back here.
Introducing Analon X,
Yeah.
the only non-stick
Hang out with Dad.
engineer for flavor.
So I thought there was a poo-poo party, but apparently I just got farted on by my puppy. Not the first time. Puppies, like, they fart, and then I'm like, oh, what happened here? What happened? What did you do? Well, at least there's nothing to clean up, but... Yeah, we miss you. And like I said, sometimes just being able to hang out, and it doesn't even have to be for long. You got other stuff to do. I mean, it's like me. I just got farted on by my dog, right? But, it's a part of life now. We can just hang out and spend time. And sometimes it's just nice, even, just being able to spend 30 minutes. 30 minutes I usually, like, the me time is like 30 minutes to 2 hours, but I make sure I go longer than that to make sure that this is in a good spot. So it's usually for me, I'm doing like 4 hours of engaging programming. So I'll do like 2 hours of like Simpsons or like King of the Hill, like that. And then the other two will be like National Geographic or Life Below Zero or something on History Channel or Discovery, and something that engages me. And then as long as I get that in and spend some time with Paisley, she's here hanging out. And then, yeah, that's what happens when you're, you got cats and dogs. Sometimes you pick up the poo and sometimes you get farted on. Now she's snugging with me now, so she's happy. She's a happy girl. I need to throw something up for Jameson. I'm not sure. Did Jameson say what he wanted? I'm going to throw up a Brave photo just temporarily. So at least we have something here. And then we'll get some more Corgi photos and whatever you guys want. Like I said, I'm just, we got the game for tomorrow, which is not going to be necessarily ideal. It's going to be more for like fantasy people. But we got Raiders and Rams. Nobody wants to watch the Rams. With the Raiders, Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams are worth watching. But besides that, you got two guys out of the whole game, but got to do it. It's the full-time job. So hopefully it ends up being a better game than we anticipate. And you might actually get to see Baker Mayfield out there. So there'll be a little intrigue there if we get Baker, out there. And then even though there's no Cooper Kupp or Aaron Donald and a lot of the other guys that we wanted to see, but Josh Jacobs has been running like a madman. I'll take that in fantasy, and Devontae's fun to watch. So, if you love watching great running back play and wide receiver play, you got two of the best this season doing it for the Raiders. The team sucks. So I did see that. Japan represent. So awesome. And it's like when these Japanese players come in now, it's like these fuckers are like really good. It's like we can be proud that it's not like, it's like not like one of these like Oregon Duck quarterbacks going to the NFL and then they fail and they're like, it was just another Oregon Duck quarterback that can't play in the NFL. But eventually, we got Justin Herbert now. So now no one can say anything. Like, it's like, okay, we finally got one that it like panned out that could be a Hall of Famer or be like a very, very good quarterback. Because we already know it's going to be Mahomes, Josh Allen, Herbert, and Burrow for our rest of our lives, right? It's just that's where the cream of the crop is going to be moving forward after. It already is. That's pretty much the cream of the crop, and then everybody else. So TN Jose with the tour. I need some more photos for y'all. It folds. Wiggle, wiggle. But if we end up getting Jameson, what do you want to see for a photo? What would you like for me? I got a nice Ronald Acuna here, like mural, where it's got 3 photos of him. It's very high end. It looks nice. It's a great visual. TN Jose, what do you want? $1.99. You wanted some Mac Jones. Give me some of that Mac Jones. Bang, bang. $2 holla. Damn, I can't believe, it's cool that I don't have to pick up poo. But man, sometimes like when you have a dog fart or a cat fart, like it smells like where is it? Like I'm looking, I'm like, okay, where is this hidden smell? Where is this coming from? Because it gets really cold now, so we can't leave the door open all the time, like in summertime, in and out and going on like the back porch concrete. Then boom, that's fine. But yeah, so things get a little more smelly in the cold months, but we've been snugging.
Come on, really? Hey, come on, we got kicks, right? Let's see. Oh.
Yeah, and like I said, all of us are going to be going through good, bad, and ugly times. We just gotta know what's going to make it better. Like what happened last time when we were in a funk? What did we do to get out of it? Things are on the up and up.
Welcome back to our Los Angeles studio. I'm Malika Andrews. He's Richard Jefferson. I do not need to remind folks of the score.
69-42 Celtics. I need to be watching AEW. AEW Dynamite. That's really awesome that we got a good promo out of Ricky Starks. If they're talking about it, and I like I said, I peeked ahead. Good mic skills. If there's something that has good mic skills, I'm all over that. Howard Stern show, or back in the day. If I'm trying to look for the people on the mic. But Ricky Starks had that good promo today. Oh, All Elite Wrestling. Yeah, baby. It's like my favorite shit all week. Like, you have no idea. Like, I like Raw now is fun for me. Like, I took 2 years off Raw because it was a garbage product. And prior to that, I watched every episode of Raw for 20 to 25 years straight. And then I never missed a SmackDown. I watched every one. And when the Rival Company came out, it's a breath of fresh air, something different. It gives me WCW, ECW vibes, which I preferred anyways over WWF after a while. But I still had the love for like Undertaker and, Legion of Doom and Ultimate Warrior and Hogan and all that. But DX was great. But it's just nice now that like they're both up to par now, where I can like enjoy Dynamite and Raw, and it's good. It is good. Let's go.
He's a coward. And a pat on the back to Brian Danielson. His mentor is still in the hospital, and he is still there with him. That's a
TN Jose $1.99. Let's get him some Mac Jones. The Mac Jones. Oh, hell yeah. One of my favorites of all time. It'll never change. I'm all about Jungle Boy, man. The theme song is so sick, dude. And when the fans go along with it, it's like, the first thing I think of is his dad every time, man. Like if he has a match with like Kenny Omega, like he's had a couple big ones when the crowd was like super into it, but like he could be a face, he could be a heel, he could be a part of a faction, but it's just so dope, man. It's like, it's more than just wrestling, it's family. And like I said, just having the fact of the dad was in 90210 and passed away and is no longer here. That was a big wrestling fan himself. I will always root for him. Fun to watch. Here we go. Dustin Rhodes coming out. He's only wrestling for one more year, he said on Twitter. So this is kind of like a farewell tour. Not very many matches left for Goldust, a.k.a. Dustin Rhodes. So definitely will be soaking those in. TN Jose with $1.99. Bang, bang. Boom, boom. Bang, bang, baby. Thank you, bro. Brother. Thank you, brother. Boom. 99 cents from Sarah. I can't wait for all the players to come through. It's fun now. We're starting to get a little bit of movement. 99 cents, baby. And then you got the Wilson Contreras. Bang, bang, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $1 holla. $1 holla. Yeah, how exciting is that? You're like, oh, we need a catcher. We just lost a Hall of Fame one. Oh, let's just insert another all-star. No problem. That's like dream come true. You're like, we're so good of a fucking organization that we're just going to be like, well, one guy retired, you're coming here. And the guy's like, yep, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I am going to go there. That's the smart move. I get more money and it's a better team. And who wouldn't want to play with Goldschmidt and Arenado, honestly? I mean, you're starting to get like a nice trio there. Tommy, and no worry. No problem. Yeah, I mean, like I said, all you got to do is just have a passion for, whatever it is. If your passion is breaking down film and, and doing like breakdowns, from the film and like, based off, talking about it or showing it on the screen, if that's something that you have a passion for, there's going to be people that need that. You know what I mean? Like, some people will take it on the college level. Could be something like XFL level. Could be something on the NFL level, college level. There's going to be opportunities. It's just, it just depends on if that's what you want to do. You just gotta go all in. Tyree with a $10 holla. What do you want to see Eagles wise? Let me know. And Sarah, let me know what you want to see. Bang, bang. And then we got a little Wilson Contreras there for Sarah. And then I hit my boy Tyree with some Eagles. How about some big play Darius Slay, huh? Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you. Boom, 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 bang, bang. Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Thank you. Appreciate you, ma'am. Nice little dono train that we got here going. Yeah, appreciate it. Every dollar counts. Food costs a lot, Plus, I like to try to take care of Paisley the best I can. So, 17. Let's get to Undo. All right. So I got you the Wilson Contreras. Let's see what else I can. Well, there's not really a whole. I mean, we're talking as far as like mock-ups of him. But I imagine, once the deal is inked and everything, and then they start putting you in like photo, op stuff. So whether it be like in a program or digital, on the website or whatever, and then, then there's going to be more opportunities. But I mean, he's a good player. I mean, the Cubs got a cool looking uniform. I mean, you don't have to like root for them, but as far as like the colors and the way they look, I mean, it's a cool vibe. It's a lot of them are old school fans from back in the day and Sandberg era, Mark Grace era, Andre Dawson, Sean Dunston. Let's try to get another Mac Jones up. I'm not sure if he's still here, but I'm still going. Well, AEW has got all kinds of crazy. I don't know how many participants are in this thing, but Brian Cage. How many people do they got in here? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 10 people, 12 people. Appreciate you, Tien Jose. And no worries. I appreciate you. I'll get all kinds of corgi stuff. Oh, no worries. It's all good. It's all right. It's like, no matter even if I'm calling a game or if we're just kind of doing like a laid back, just kind of hang out type of thing. It's no worries. There's no obligation. There's so many times you have to type in the chat, Hopefully that works. Is it just lack of appointments because they're just so booked up from so many people in the area calling in? I mean, like I said, I know stuff is still, there's flus going around, but there's still like COVID stuff. Like there's still stuff going around. So, because I think everyone has known at least one person that either themselves or they have a friend, like my buddy Joe that I used to work with, he's got it right now. And so he just messaged me late last night and he's like, fucko. He's like, yeah. And we're talking like, baseball and Aaron Judge. We're talking baseball cards and stuff. And I asked about his son and everything. But yeah, so he said he hit him pretty hard and he's older than me. So He's like in his 50s. I think he's like late 40s, early 50s, somewhere in there, a little bit older than me. But so I kind of worry a little bit, but I hope everything works out and his body can fight it and things get better. So I always like Joe. Joe's really a funny ass storyteller and Dodger fan, and used to live in LA, and he's kind of like a biker guy. Kind of has like a car. He's a kind of like a car guy, biker guy. But we just have this common ground with sports and other things too. And yeah, I was like one of the first guys I talked to when I went to that new job and I needed help. And he actually was willing to help me, which was nice. So, oh my God, Mango Madness Snapple. I don't know if you have not gotten it. Maybe I need to order some and have it shipped to your house, Holly, but it is delicious. Under the circumstances, I know that you'll be able to get out and do certain tasks that need to be done. But man, that Snapple Mango Madness, oh, yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's very good. Kiwi Strawberry is a kind of a good, different texture, as good as well. And then obviously the Blue Gatorade. That's what we're doing. That is what we're doing.
Plus, the powerful cough relief you need. Mind if I root through your trash? Robitussin, the only brand with real honey and elderberry.
So make it loud. But this group is ready to give you a shout.
Joy to the world.
Joy. What's he doing? I can't use one more member. I mean, I think
Nothing like some HD 4K greatness.
Dave and Jenny Mars are home renovators, but with these 4 words, they become magicians. The Mars are making magic. My 5 kids and always delivered. All new Fix It to Fabulous. Tuesday at 9 on HGTV. AEW Dynamite live here on TBS. The Dynamite Time at Battle Royal. Who will go on to face MJF for the $150,000?
Yeah, I'll get you some Derek Jeter. Great choice, man. I love Jeter. Like, obviously I don't have to be a Yankee fan, but I really embraced his whole career. Like when they talk about a guy, being like a Ken Griffey Jr. or, like that, why it's like, if you don't take advantage and watch, all you're going to be able to do is go back and watch clips and just to be like immersed when they're playing at a highest level. And you're like, dude, I actually watched Derek Jeter play. Like, not a lot of people had a lot of faith in him early in the career. And then obviously is one of the best of all time. So let me do that. And we'll look at some fucking Penguins, baby. The Photoshop. Yeah, I know they have it on like Cardinal Twitters. They've already mocked it up. I'm just, doing like a. Edmund, Contreras, Goldschmidt, Arenado, Donovan, O'Neill, Newbar, Yepes, and Carlson. Yeah, it's that's potentially really nice. What do you think about that? You like that or you don't like that? I mean, if anyone knows Braves, I know Shep reads on it. I know you read on it and try to keep up. What do you think about that? I mean, sometimes when we make these deals for like prospects, we end up getting screwed because we get the guy, but then the prospects turn into like all-stars on another team. And you're like, hell, what did we do? Derek Jeter. I got you. Oh man, I might have to like send you some. It's like you can be having a shit day, and I swear you get this. Just put it in the freezer for like a little bit, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, right before it becomes like a slushy or whatever, and then take that first sip. Oh, that first like super cold, like it'd be like out of like a 7-Eleven machine or something on a hot summer day. Yeah, definitely can make your day. Yes, I got you. See, sometimes you just even a couple, it's like a photo can go a long ways. To me, it's like it's same type of impact as like a song or TV show or movie. It's just it makes you feel something. So sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need. And let's go with some Derek Jeter. Yeah, the Penguin stuff is always good because that's why I like watching like National Geographic and Discovery Channel and History Channel because like anytime if you feel like you're in kind of a funk or something, and you can watch something that has like water, which is always good. Like when you're in a funk, you go to the beach or you like try to get away, it makes you feel better. The connection to water and seeing like water, lake, river, mountain, something like, I don't know what it is, but it just makes me perk up and like get in a better mood. Like, I could just, I can watch my cartoons and I'm always going to go to like Simpsons first, but after that, it's always nice where I can just watch something like that and just kind of see how they do it. And I have a lot of respect for what they do. Like, you have to be really smart to live that self-sufficient lifestyle. Trying to give you like the full perspective here. So you got the up close Jordan Brand. I mean, normally Jordan Brand ain't gonna, they gotta really love you or think you're a fucking legend to fucking be Jordan Brand for baseball. Like that's a fucking big deal. And that was back in the day. So that obviously that shows you how highly Derek Jeter was. For Jordan Brand to invest in Derek Jeter, that pretty much means that they think he's one of the best that's ever played the game. And he was. Cool black and white. Nice Yankee Stadium backdrop there. Now we got MJF coming out, and then they're going to have a little microphone thing here. Yeah, kiwi strawberry one is good. Like if you need a pick-me-up, like just grab like 4 or 5 of those, just put them in the fridge underneath in one of the, where maybe sometimes we put the vegetables and whatnot in the bottom part of the fridge, or if you have a little area to put wherever you want to put the extra ones. And yeah, and the kiwi strawberry one is good too. You just put it in the freezer for a little bit and you can drink it cold straight out of the fridge, but I think if you do the freezer part and you can get it before it freezes over, I don't know, it's just more refreshing for me. So I try to maximize my drinks, best taste if I'm going to pay the money for it. Yeah, MJF is out right now. Oh, really? Yeah, it's good. I mean, like sometimes just doing some little quirky, weird thing that, I know I'm not the only one that does that. There's other people that do it as well. But just with that flavor stuff, I just like to have that vibe of that kind of summertime drink where, it tastes the best. It takes a little effort, but Eagles John in the building. Yeah, but I do see that the Mango Madness sells out a lot faster than back in the day. Like more people are buying it. I didn't know it was like, and I don't think they get like a lot. So like it might be just like 1 or 2 or 3 people that are buying it every day. But I got to get in the rotation. So I need the Mango Madness. But sometimes I'll go for like a week and it's not there. So I'm like, oh my gosh. Because I'm not going to go to like 5 different stores and I'm just going to go to my local Safeway. That's like that Jeff, he's come in here. He's the guy that works usually the self-checkout and he works in the building. He's worked there for like 20 years. And then we just, had conversation about Mariners. And then he ended up coming to the channel and then he actually subbed to the channel. He actually, we follow each other on Twitter now. And he's not really big on Twitter, He just, does the grocery thing. He's been doing it for a long time and then, watches Mariners and, spends time with his family and whatnot, but it's always cool. But I feel bad because like there'll be times where me and him are having a conversation and there's like people that need assistance in like the bag area. And I was like, oh man, you probably got to go, bro. You're going to get in trouble. because like once you start talking to someone that actually likes the same thing as you, or you follow the same thing, you're like, oh, you can, he's like, oh, I probably should help that guy. Yeah, you probably should. But it's always good to talk to him for sure. Derek Jeter.
I'm gonna start calling you the Pebble, okay? And here's what's gonna happen next week in the main event at Dynamite, little Pebble. I'm gonna put you in my pocket. I'm gonna hop in my brand new Taycan GTS Porsche, because unlike all these simple-minded humanoids, I'm actually rich and not a complete loser. I'm gonna drive you to the nearest body of water. I'm gonna take you out of my pocket.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
I'm going to skip your scrawny little pigeon-toed ass all the way back to Billy Corgan's NWA so you can wrestle on YouTube where you belong.
Hey, Skitty, $10 dono for the pick me up anytime.
Don't care about your feelings, Texas. So,
Boom, 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 baby. It's always good to have more people in the room too, so that there's more catch-up time and not less just kind of waiting for more people to show up time. So, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Plenty of corgis, plenty of Tommy, and plenty of corgis and Tommy in your life shortly, and a little bit of Mahomes. So I was gonna get Cyberpunk like a try to Patrick Mahomes like high school, but all of them are like the fake ones or like the Chinese off-brand where it's like some crap. The stitching, it's not correct, and it's all like low price, so it's not good quality. So we talked about it. So next up is going to be the Texas Tech jersey. I mean, I don't know if the black one is available or if you have a link for that, Holly. But if you know off the top, or if you know someone that, I can do my own research and I can find, I know it's an Under Armour or whatever, but if I want to make sure I get authentic one, but either I'll try to get that, and then if not that, Bo Jackson for him, and then if not that, then Derek Thomas, like Holly. So, but yeah, I just want to make sure I get like the right one. Red one looks cool, but the black one, red and white, they look okay for Texas Tech. But if it's Mahomes, you're not going to care. It just takes your fandom to a whole nother level. If you got like if you be rocking these at the game or at home, and then all of a sudden you show up to the game with that, like not everyone's going to have that. That's like more of a kind of a like, ooh, look at that item. So and then someone will probably see it and be like, oh, I want that, and then they'll buy one. So. Yeah, the podcast is very cool with the Kelsey Bros. I try to watch. If I don't watch the whole thing, I try to find the snippets on Twitter that people will send me, or it'll be on my timeline, and I always will listen to that for sure. But it's not the full vibe because you're not watching the full thing, but it's one of the best ones that's out there. I mean, who wouldn't want to listen to the Kelseys, and then you're going to have Mahomes or any of their closest people on the Eagles and Chiefs on the show? That's a hit right there. There's a lot of legends on both of those franchises. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. 27 Dara. Yeah, there's white, red, and black. So I just was kind of seeing like what would be available based off, I would assume the red one is going to be the most common. White will be difficult. Black, probably nearly impossible, just because I don't think they made too many of those to the public. But from the photos that I've pulled up, and it just looks the cleanest. It's just a very, very clean look. The black with the red and the white, it really pops. Like if you're going to get one, that one would look the best. But I just want to try to get something that's high quality that I would buy for myself, and then go from there. But we were trying to do the high school, but there's just too many bootleg ones, and it's not the real one. And so I think now we're gonna shift to Texas Tech. I'll look at the options, and then we'll talk. And then if he likes one of the three or whatever's available, then if not, then Bo, and then I guess we're going down the ladder on to see what's the coolest thing. I just want to make sure that I take care of the people so they get the ultimate. If you're gonna get something like, here it is, we don't want to screw that up, right? We want to make sure we're getting the whatever is needed, because he wants to try to get it signed. Like he'll keep it in the car, and then he'll keep it in the car, and then he's got a like a silver Sharpie. You know what I mean? Like a couple Sharpies just like in the glove box. So then if he like runs into him like at a gas station, boom, runs up to him, Cyberpunk, hey, I'm Cyberpunk. And then Patrick Mahomes is like, yeah. I was like, I need you to sign this. And he's like, okay. And then boom, right? That's what we hope would happen, unless he runs towards him, scares him, and then he just like leaves. That would not be good. But obviously getting him a Mahomes. He says he's seen him a couple times driving by. And like I said, I know a lot of people that live in that area, they do see the players from time to time. I mean, they're not stalking them, but I mean, gas station, grocery store type stuff. I mean, wherever they're, going from the freeway to wherever their houses are or whatever. So. Yeah. I mean, if you have, and like I said, I'm always going to want to, like Mitchell and Ness. It's like, I don't want to have like a really nice knockoff, but no one's going to know it's a knockoff. Like, because I mean, some of them look very, very, it's like you have to be like a professional jersey collector to even point out the difference between the fake and the real one. But anything that's like high school or college, definitely it's harder to find those. And then you want to get it through the manufacturer or through like the school. But I mean, if Mahomes has not been in high school for, it's like I don't even know how many high quality jerseys they've even made of Mahomes in high school. So. Uh-oh. Someone's on card probation. You're on poker probation. And we got MJF and Ricky Starks. I would assume so. I don't know how good of an NFL player he's going to be, though. He seems like more of a backup to me. I'm not going to be like, oh, my God, he's an Oregon Duck, so I'm going to tell everyone that he's going to be the best in the world. Like, no, I mean, he's not Justin Herbert. I mean, if he ends up panning out, awesome. That would be like dream come true. But he just seems like to me that he could be like maybe a backup to a quarterback. I'm not sure if he's like starter material. You know what I mean? I don't think that's a bad observation. Just because they're on our team, we can't overhype them up. Like give them extra credit that they don't deserve just because they're our favorites. You got to keep it real. So even if it's your own. Okay. Yeah. Cyberpunk just gets out of the car, no shirt on, chasing him with ketchup. I mean, who knows? I mean, I bet there's some crazy people that have like had encounters. Like I bet Mahomes probably has like, he could probably do a full podcast of like kind of weird or like memorable, like people kind of stalkering coming up as like super fans and, trying to get a piece of his clothes or autograph or, whatever, selfie, hug or whatever. Yeah. I mean, it is Patrick Mahomes, so. Samoa Joe, I like you on the mic. Love Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is underrated, kind of like Kevin Owens. I like the bigger guys in wrestling that might be a little chubbier. They don't have like a physique like I'm on steroids, but some of those guys are like super athletic and they don't have like the prototypical like I look like I'm a Mr. Universe. I'm on steroids body, but you get these guys that are more real and they kind of have more of like a thicker build, but they're awesome on the microphone. And that's what makes them better, like Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens over some of these guys that are just like ripped, but like Brian Cage, like, okay, I get it. You're super ripped, but you got no mic skills. So it's like, I'm not invested. I'm not invested if you just buff, dude. See? And I know Mahomes likes the ketchup. I read, I'm a fan myself. I mean, one of these days I'll end up probably having one. I'll try to find something special before it becomes a throwback, because you better believe like all the Mahomes stuff will turn into a Mitchell and Ness throwback. Like that'll be one that you'll have to buy, and having those original ones will command a lot more money and command a lot more collectability, especially if you end up having like the real deal ones now and just not, and just trying to make sure you have the Kelsey, make sure you have the Mahomes. And also, once you get your, red or your white, maybe try to look for like a rare one, like a Pro Bowl jersey, something that not every other fan is going to have as long as it looks good. But, we already know how the Pro Bowl is. I think trying to cut that off altogether, which they should, and they're just going to do games. But I mean, that's kind of where it was when they would hit the targets, when like Dan Marino was doing it, Brett Favre, Jim Kelly. That it was cool. You know, and like I said, if they're not going to let people tackle, I mean, you can't just go from the NFL to two-hand touch. And then you got people like me that are still watching, but I know I shouldn't be because it's like the worst thing on television. Like watching the Pro Bowl is probably the biggest waste of 3 hours in anyone's life. There's nothing gained from it. You know, nothing. You don't remember it. They did two-hand touch. Maybe there's like one or two big plays. Yeah. So unless they let a full like tackling and like it's an actual game, it'll never be good. Never be good. Yes, I'm gonna Mahomes with the ketchup. Like, come here, Patrick. He's like, what you want? I got the ketchup, dude. And now they start having all these other different types of ketchup. Have you seen that? I'm on this like ketchup gang thing. Like I'm a condiment kind of guy, right? So I'm always like, I want to have ranch or honey mustard or but they have like sriracha. But now there's like the ketchup line with like Heinz and these other ones. They have like these other like special modified like flavors. They even have one with like THC in it. They got like different like guac. Different types of like I don't even know all of them. Like I said, there's too many for me to actually go through them all. But I definitely I'm curious. Like I don't know what some of those weird ones are going to taste like, but I might need to get on that. Madden Pro Bowl, yeah. It used to be good back in the day, but
Switch now to get a 5-year rate lock. Not a catch in sight.
You think last week got a little out of hand? I don't. In fact, I'm starting to really like Cowboy Hangman Page because he fell off his horse, dusted himself off, and got right back in the saddle, and he did his talking with his fists. There's not enough of that around here. There's too much talking.
You know what would be unique would be this.
Not all elite talking. There is no black pool microphone.
It would have to be like if they made one with like his face on it, but like if you ended up having like some kind of ketchup thing. But I imagine he's autographed a ketchup bottle for somebody as a fan because people like that weird stuff. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to necessarily be the regular stuff, like just the regular cards and other stuff, but I would want it can't be like that plastic. It'd have to be like glass. So if I'm getting the Patrick Mahomes on the ketchup, it's got to be the glass bottle, like restaurant style.
We put the JAS in our rear view mirror for good. Hangman Page. Another piece.
Paisley, calm down.
You know where to find me.
All right, here. I found a couple options of this. Has anyone tried any of these? Like for real? Are you guys brave enough to try these? Because the one in the middle is like fry sauce. Mayo Q kind of sounds interesting. And then the mayo mustard, I don't know if that's going to be honey. That's not really a honey mustard, but it looks kind of like honey mustard color. Yeah, Odin's son. I mean, sometimes there's stuff like on the, on his like Twitter timeline and stuff. But yeah, they're trying to branch out with all kinds of stuff. Yeah, but obviously the THC one is not going to be on the same aisle as these, But yeah, definitely like the skills game for sure. Yeah, so I'm trying to like be adventurous and like try stuff. So I think I'm gonna attempt for one and see how it goes, and then maybe make my way to all three, as long as they have it, and maybe I'll end up getting a new one. It's like if you've never tried sriracha before, or like some sauce, sometimes you gotta try something new. The king of television, Samoa Joe. Yeah. So we're doing life goals right now. Everyone else is focused on, sports and what's going on in the world. And, you come here and it's all about Cranch, Mayo Q, Mayo Must. I'm interested. I don't care if they cost $6 a piece. Who cares? Let's give it a try. Looks good. Then I would have to decide what I want to do. If I want to do like fries or like what am I doing like chicken tenders or am I doing fries or what am I doing? That would be the next question.
It's not just the size that you pointed out, Shivani Joe, but it's his quickness, it's his experience. He's a big-time player. He's been a big-match guy the bulk of his career.
Oh my gosh, there's more. This graphic, look at this. Damn, look at this. Why is there so many? They don't have all of these at my local grocery store. There's no way. The Buffalo Ranch, ooh, the Honey Racha, the Mayo Racha, the Mayo Ketchup, the Cranch, the Mayo Must, and then the Ket Chili. Why have I not been updated on this? Why have I not been informed by my friends of this? Well, at least I get to pass it along to you guys for the first time of me finding out about it. I thought there was just 3. I had no idea they were going like this. Now this is a mission. And I honestly think almost everyone will be good. I doubt that any one of them are going to be bad. It's just you're going to have favorites maybe more than others. I mean, I don't care. $6 a pop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So like $42. Probably less than that. I doubt it's that much, but you never know. Specialty. Okay. All right. Well, I found myself a new thing there. But the thing is, I don't think so. I think because, like I said, there's a lot of stuff right now that is like fusion, and people are always looking for new like taste. So instead of just like the traditional like ketchup or mustard, or barbecue sauce, I mean, sometimes you got to be able to. And a lot of these restaurants and stuff here, like in Oregon, people are trying to come up with new stuff themselves too for like their food cart or whatever they're doing, and restaurants out here are doing it too. I don't know. I disagree. You're in Hawaii and you get that beautiful Hawaiian cuisine that you're used to. We don't get to eat that here. I mean, unless I go to a place every day. But as far as that type, I'm a condiment guy. I'm down for that. I am definitely willing to try to buy a couple of those and see what they taste like. I imagine they taste good. I mean, yeah. So did you end up losing money? Did you end up having like a perfect hand and you just got an out-of-body experience and you're like, what do I do here? And then you ended up doing something stupid like folding when you should have played? I guess I have too. I mean, I'm always trying to be in that game, but I didn't know it was like that. But I guess that's what we're doing now. I guess that's what my life is now. All right, let's try to get a couple more photos here for you, and I'll delete some of these other photos. Some. Oh, Derek Jeter. Oh, someone's eating. Yeah. Oranges.
NetSpend notification? Yep, just got paid. Direct deposit to my NetSpend card. Got my money 2 days faster than I used to with a paper check. Which means I can finally get a puppy. Car insurance. Sofa. Utilities. Massage. Rent. Maybe you can pay your bills on time for a change.
Limited time offer of no monthly fees when you open a NetSpend All Access account and load $1,000 or more each calendar month. Hurry. Offer ends 12/31/2022. Get started today at netspend.com.
Is that I don't belong to you and you don't belong to me.
Freedom doesn't wait. Live. The original Eau de Parfum Yves Saint Laurent at Macy's.
Yeah, Mayo Joanna. That's what. Is it like a fake thing, like a meme or whatever? Because like I wouldn't be surprised if something like that. I mean, people have been working on like trying to do that. I mean, they have all kinds of food stuff now. Like at least out here in Oregon, we have access to a lot of options. But yeah. Mayo Joanna. That's literally the name. Yeah. It's like me and Odin's son. I was like, I saw that and I was like, Mayo Joanna.
It's your money. Use it when you need it.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a long-term contract to get in on it. Not anymore, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide with deals like the Silver Unlimited plan for just $45 a month and no contract. And get the Samsung Galaxy A13 5G.
Like for real. Mayo Joanna.
Reliable 5G network. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart and Walmart.com.
Sometimes you like hear about stuff and you're like, oh, this has got to be some bullshit. Like, you know, this has got to be fake. Oh, absolutely. We got to cheer you up. Things have been tough. Things have been tough for a lot of us, you know, and it's always good. I'm glad that you're here and we can hang out. I gotta get some. Got to move off the Mayo Joanna. Now we got to go to the see if I can get some cool penguin stuff. And if there's any other photos that anyone wants to see that donated, just holler, just put it in the chat, and I'll get to it. And I like that penguins, they like mate for life. They're like very loyal, and this photo kind of embodies that. We're the NWSF gang. The 420 sauce, baby. It's like impossible not to get into like a more smiley or more positive mood when you look at like water, ice, or like animals. Like it's impossible to be like, oh, I'm in a horrible mood still. Like, I don't know. It's something about water is so calming. And that's why when you, like I said earlier, when you have like bad fucking days or weeks and you have to do a getaway, you go camp or you go somewhere, there's a lake or a river, you know, if you can, depending on where you live in the country, but it definitely resets you. So if it resets me, if I have to physically go, why can't it reset my brain if I'm actually watching something on a real nice TV and I get to see stuff like this? I still got to get my Simpsons and King of the Hill and like Bob's Burgers and stuff in, but I mean, then the other half of the time could be watched on programs like this. Oh, damn. Senton, Samoa Joe on Darby. Yeah. Plus, when more people are here, you know, then obviously more photos can be brought up and obviously more conversations. Oh, that's awesome. I mean, you're Ben Roethlisberger's bodyguard, ghost hunter, owns it. That's awesome. You know, it's really funny that you brought that up. I was actually, and I never watch, but I was on the Travel Channel, and I don't know what this means, but I actually was watching like some ghost stuff last night for the first time in like a year. Like, no joke. It was like talking about like the Alaskan mines, and there's like very high like ghost activity, and like even the people that do tours and these certain like peaks and mountains where they did like gold and stuff, and the tunnels go super deep and they can like hear things, and like the workers in there like still working and stuff. But like, yeah, it was very interesting. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, ghost hunting would be that's crazy. But dispensary, hey, yeah, I got one like really close to my house, which is great. So it's like 5 minutes or less, which is awesome. That's a nice feeling where you don't have to drive like 30 minutes or an hour. But I know some people are going to have to do that. So, but I have probably 3 within like 10 minutes of me, which is a blessing, especially when I'm not trying to, drink booze and whatnot. Oh, here we go. I got a good Famary one. A penguin Famary. Damn, 118-79. The Suns did not show up today. That was like, oh, that's going to be good. I was going to watch that. Nope. Oh, your boy finds the best. Yeah, well, most people, just believing in the unexplained, and so it's like me, Chief Will Chief, and Shep. I know we could end up doing a show and we could just have us just like smoking or eating edibles and just watching, Ancient Aliens and stuff. Like I like stuff like that. I like astronomy, but I also do. I'm not going to go out of my way and watch like 3 hours of like Bigfoot hunting programs. I'm going to watch more of like Wicked Tuna or when they're going for tuna and something more supernatural. But I mean, every once in a while, I'll watch some of those things. You know what I mean? But for me, it's more like the alien stuff is a little bit more interesting, and then I go more towards like animals and stuff. But they have those on certain networks. I think like the not Science Channel, but Sci-Fi. Not even really Sci-Fi, but they have what Travel Channel has a lot of like the kind of like paranormal stuff that they have on their slate. So yeah, I like to think that we are the only, and there's nothing like higher mentally, is kind of insane to think. Like we don't even know how big everything really is out in the universe, or like if we are like this of like the big story like this, like nobody knows. Everyone thinks they know, they don't know. The paranormal.
Darby Allin just absolutely demolished by Samoa Joe, and Joe's not done yet. He's sending a message directly.
Yeah.
To Darby, he's going to go sleep for a second time in this thing here. And now finally the officials.
I told my dad about like the ESP stuff, you know what I mean? But you know what he said? First thing he says, he's like, well, if you had ESP, you'd be already a millionaire. I was like, well, just because I don't bet on certain things, but there's definitely things that because he doesn't watch the show on a regular basis, so he doesn't know about like the predictions, or he doesn't understand like that we hit more on the predictions here than most channels do, or even people on TV and podcasts. It's just sometimes it is a little bit of ESP, or you're talking into existence. I can't explain it all the time, but I know, he's like, you like, it's not like I'm going to be able to see the exact score and be like the Back to the Future. You know what I mean? Of course, if you like have the book and you can see everything, but it's just like you get these little spurts where like I'll have a dream, or I'll like think of something and then I'll say it out loud and then it happens, or I'll be thinking about something and then all of a sudden like I'll say, like a player like a Bo Jackson, and let's say Bo Jackson hasn't been in the news for like a year, and then the next day, as I'm thinking about Bo Jackson, then Bo Jackson, just the next day hasn't been in the news for a year, Bo Jackson, blah blah blah, and he's like in the headlines. To me, that's weird. That's not. I don't know how to explain that, but that's happened to me like a bunch of times where I'll just like have kind of I don't know, maybe just, and it's not necessarily. I think maybe an article I read, because I'm always online reading about stuff, but just like a thought, of a player or person or something. But yeah, but I'm the same. I have a lot of interest in that stuff, kind of paranormal, and just kind of the unexplained is interesting to me.
And we'll have more Dynamite. Stay with us on TBS. Give it to me. What do you think? Flow. Only more movements.
Whatever the choice, just keep it smart.
All right, see you later, Matt. Enjoy that Hawaii weather. Must be nice, man, living in Hawaii. I mean, like, I imagine you don't really have too much horrible weather at all. So, all right, where do we want to go? You guys, let me know where you guys want to go, photo wise. Anything that we talk about can essentially lead to a photo. But yeah, it was very interesting that and sometimes I'll get creeped out a little bit. I'll be honest. Like, some people love like the horror movies and they love the blood and the gore, or, depending on if they want to be scared or if it's just kind of more like a comedy, but there is like crazy shit going on. But I don't know. I think for me, like for my mental health, I can only do so much of like the chaos before it like gives me kind of like a negative vibe. Like, I don't know. It's just when you watch about like a lot of like negative stuff, and then you like enjoy that, like after a while, like, I don't know, it should make you feel a little uneasy, but some people love it, but some of it is just like, I don't know, it just affects me not in a good way. Like I need to have something a little bit more uplifting. It's like when we hear a horrible story on the news and you're like, oh gosh, it's like you need something more uplifting. I don't want to watch some like gangster movie where people are just getting killed after something crazy happened. Sometimes you got to have something a little bit more light before you get into your other programs and stuff. So, oh yeah. That's why when you go to the zoo, at least in Oregon, that's where people are always like, okay, we gotta watch them. I like the photos too, because they always have different colors in the background of like the ice and the water. So it might be like dark blue, light blue. I don't know. It's like each one is like a different kind of vibe in the visual side.
Hilton for the stay. Savor sweet moments with Roman and Company. Mornings filled with
It's like impossible to be angry or mad. You're like, oh, look at some penguins. Cheer up a little bit.
Same great taste as Aunt Jemima.
And we're back.
Rick and Morty, Sundays at 11 on Adult Swim.
Squad. The squad. The NWSF squad.
Has now led to me becoming the greatest Ring of Honor champion.
What's the weather like at your place out there? You guys starting to get the cold weather where you can wear jackets, or is it still warm out? All right, man. Thank you for sharing the channel on Twitter and whatnot. That'll always help us try to get a few more people to come through, and we'll talk Eagles anytime. I got you, man. Put the Eagles to the John. Let's lead them off with a photo.
Well, a huge main event coming up this Saturday at Final Battle. But up right now, Jake Hager, Daniel Garcia versus Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. And remember, Tony, still to come, our main event.
Eagles, John. A goodbye photo until tomorrow, or when I see you. An old school Eagle photo. Jerome Brown. There's a better way to go out than that, man. Appreciate you, dude. Have a good night, and definitely can have a good vibe after seeing Jerome Brown. I mean, how can you not? If you're an Eagles fan, NWSF, baby. Claudio and Wheeler Yuta. All right, where do we want to go from here? You guys decide on where we want to go. I got a little AEW in. I'm just trying to have the good vibes. You guys, we can go to food. If you guys want to go to food, we can go to food there. However you guys want to go, I'll let you control the rest of the stream. Like I said, this is for you guys. So anything that we want to go over. I know Avatar's coming out soon. I'm super excited about that. There's not very many movies I get excited about in a year. Star Wars, Marvel movies, and then definitely Avatar. I'm a huge fan, like super fan of Avatar. Like collected even the toys. Like if I bought the toy of the Avatar stuff, like of course that's pretty big for me. Or we can go to puppies or players or cars. You guys let me know. I'm going to delete some of these photos, and then we will decide where we want to go from here. So I'll let you guys, whatever you guys want. You want to keep going down the puppy train, we can go that route. You want to go with some football players, we can go that route. You guys let me know, and I'm going to make some room, eliminate some of the photos, and you guys decide from there. I wouldn't mind going into food. We can go into food later, but and then I got Johnny's work. Like I said, as long as I'm able to, I just want to be able to try to support him, and obviously I want to support myself and try to put in as much as I can to improve the look. And he does another great job. I told him I wanted Josh Jacobs and Cam Akers, and this is a little preview of what we have tomorrow. Obviously, when it's the Raiders and Rams, it's not the most ideal matchup. I understand, but he does great work, and I love it. It's like he got the font correct. We got the great team logo. We got the field in the background. We got the Thursday night prime, and then we got the great live play-by-play, which kind of got that transparent kind of look to it, and two action shots that are great facing each other. So it's a work of art, and so it's super expensive for me, but as long as I'm investing in myself, as long as I can get all the other stuff taken care of, and maybe I can't buy something extra for myself, but I can get this, I'm going to go this route. It's like, you got to make sure if you have dreams, you don't want, if you can afford it, you got to invest in yourself. So, and I love it. Turned out great. Like I always, it's like exciting for me. Like every time I, get a new one, I'm kind of like addicted to them because they're so awesome and I want to support them. I just need to hopefully get, we can come to an agreement down the road if I'm going to be using them for like forever, that maybe we'll knock off like $5 per or something. If, help me out a little, here, it's like I can still make you and take care of you. And eventually with doing that and a few others, it could make him not have to work his regular job. And that might make him a lot happier. So yeah, beautiful work, right? I mean, it's like everything he does. And like I said, I've tested him because he never did NASCAR ones before or like baseball. It was pretty much he was doing like the football stuff. So I know it was probably like, okay, how do I do this? And he knows my style. And it's like, if I'm paying, I'm not going to, it has to look good. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going to be paying in top dollar too. So, but I love supporting him and it looks good. And like I said, I don't know if the game is going to be entertaining or not. That's in true, just being, honest, but I hope we have a few good plays. I mean, at least Josh Jacobs is playing great and Devontae has been playing great. So for those two, I'm interested, and we might get Baker playing for the Rams, and that would be interesting to see if he sucks. But again, he doesn't have a full complement of a roster. It's, a bunch of bad players out there. Everyone's injured. So can't really gauge on how good Baker is going to be. But yeah, I think over time, especially when he sees it's like I don't make as much as other people. So it's like if I made way more, it wouldn't even be an issue. Like I wouldn't even have to talk about it. It's just like, all right, we're getting another one. We're doing another one. And just got to do as much as I can, especially for like the games. I want to do that. And it's awesome. So Yeah, I'm ready. You know what I mean? Like I said, I know some people aren't going to give a shit. There has been a lot of bad matchups, not only on Thursday night, but I think the NFL has got more bad teams this year than in years past. So it's like when you got the bad teams that are good now, nobody cares. It's like not a lot of people are going to go out of their way to watch the Giants and the Jets, even though they're good this year. It's not like a draw, like from NFL fans, unless you have like Saquon Barkley, or you're like a big Sauce Gardner guy. You know what I mean? But as far as like nationally, it's like if you're a fan of like the 49ers or the Buccaneers or Packers, are you going out of your way to watch those other teams play? Probably not, but sometimes people do. But I don't know. Well, hopefully it ends up being a decent game. Yeah, but getting a little bit of a discount down the road because, I don't want to use anybody else. I just want to be able to support him. So.
They show how dominant they can be as professional wrestlers, not sports entertainers. Yeah, you see right now, again, a preview of what you're going to see this Saturday as Garcia and Wheeler go toe-to-toe right here. Yeah, final battle of taking place this Saturday at special 4 p.m. Eastern start time. Available through pay-per-view.
Sometimes the best recipe to making your heart and your soul happy is getting back to the basics. And getting back to the basics is sometimes having a really good meal and watching a really good show. So if you haven't had something that, just life has been chaos, sometimes you got to take a step back and try to get that really, really good comfort food, right? Watch your favorite program. It could definitely make the day better. I know it does for me, especially when you can plan something like pad thai or something like this. It almost becomes like kind of an event instead of just a meal. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, no one's gonna object. Oh no, let's do it. No one's gonna veto you. Plus, cars are awesome, and we don't look at them enough. And I always like to bring that up as an option once in a while. Yeah, let's do it. I like the old school stuff too. Like I said, I'm Asian, so it's like I grew up with people that we tricked out like Acuras and Type Rs and Honda Civics and Accords, kind of like the Fast and Furious, but that was like how we were. Like, even before that movie came out, that was the culture out here in Oregon, Washington, and California. That whole kind of vibe of the lights and the colors and the flipping out the tail lights and getting like modified ones, upgrading all the bulbs, and some stuff was legal, some stuff was not street legal, and just modifying your amp and your sub and the speakers and the interior. Like it was like I got to go get a new intake, and we would go to like the shop or whatever, and they would have like custom shops that were open around in like Beaverton that you could just pull up, and they would have stuff, and you just boom, they would already order it, you come pick it up, you put it on your car, or you go to your friend's house and you work on it, and yeah, and then you would just mob around together and go places and stuff. So yeah, there was some good times, definitely for sure. But yeah, I'm definitely down for that. Let's do it.
My name is Wendy. I'm 51 years old, and I'm a
I try. I know it works for me. Yeah, so I know if it works for me, sometimes you just need to pass on that info. But doesn't that look good? I know you like that. And that's like, you're like, oh man, like having pad thai or like a really good chicken tortilla soup or something that you like grew up eating or something you haven't had in a while. Like spaghetti and meatballs from this one pastini place that we get. Oh my God. Like it's supposed to only come, I think, with like one meatball. I'm crazy. I'm like, I want 4, like, or 5. Like, it's like, it comes in a pretty good container, but they do a good job. And so it's like, if I'm going to get that, I don't want to skimp out and just only like have one. And even if I break it up, I feel it's like I'm not getting enough spaghetti and meatball if I'm paying. So I just go ham with it and I'll just get like 4 or 5. And, sometimes you got to do things like that for sure. Yeah. Let's pull up the Nova. Let's do it. And my friend Jake that actually was my inspiration into collecting, his dad, I'm not sure if it was a 73, but he had Novas that he worked on in front of like, the house or whatever in the garage. So we would play basketball late at night. And while his dad had the garage door open with the lights, tinkering around on the car. And then in the shop, he also had a Hot Wheel collection of cars that were like out of the package, but they were like all lined up, and he had stuff that was in the package. And I never had a friend who had a dad or him, like a friend that actually collected like hardcore like that. And then I went into his room and he had all the starting lineups, like all on like the edging of the door frame, and like had like different, like shelves lined up with all of them. I was like, wow. Cause a lot of those cost like $4 to $8 a piece back then, but he had a bunch. And I was like, man, I don't got anything like this. And that was like the first person, it wasn't even my dad. Like, I was like, I want to be like this guy. Like, I don't have money like this guy. This, he's got the dad that's doing all this and buying the Hot Wheels, and they would watch NASCAR together. But I would go to his house and we'd play Madden. So we'd have to go into his parents' room, and they have a certain TV area right there. And boom, we would just get the Sega Genesis and play like NHL 94, Madden 95. And I just remember, hanging out and then going into his room and looking at his cards and all his collectibles. And it was life-changing. And then it molded me to kind of the collector that I'm at this point now. So, but let's do the Nova. Let's do that. Ooh, 1 to 3 inches. 40 to 50. And thank you. Bang, bang, bang. $2 holla, bang, bang. Appreciate you. I just try to pass things along. I feel that a lot of stuff needs to be said, but you can always see like some kind of fucking Facebook post or some like, funny ass like meme or GIF or like, it's got some kind of narrator in it of like words of wisdom, but sometimes you just got to hear it from people that are actually in your life, not something just like on a social media, post that you see. So, but sometimes those can connect with you as well. Because I know I've seen some where I got this like Indian guy, right? He's got the thickest like Gandhi Indian voice, and he's like always swearing and giving words of wisdom with like fuck and shit, and like he's got a really funny tonality, and they always have like the like dog in the water in the background, and then it's always got like the like kind of the mystical like vibe of like the bells, and like it's very peaceful and everything. But the the words that he says, they're true, but it's just kind of funny hearing it from him saying it. But it's very true. On like he's like work will go on. It's like he's always got these like funny sayings and everything. But I know you guys are probably seeing something like that on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. It usually will come up on people's timelines, and if you haven't seen it lately, maybe you've seen one of those before. But oh yes, so I put it up, and I know it's your favorite. That's what happens when you get to know people. Yeah, I haven't had that in years. That's crazy. So like one of my friends, and unusual, huh? Nice. I know that's been one of your kind of things. Yeah, it's nice to kind of connect with like something that you had a connection with someone in the family, and you want to be able to keep it, keep the legacy going with it. It's a good thing to be able to get back and in touch with your younger self. I mean, I always do it. I do it every day. If I feel like things are going kind of crazy, I'm like, nope. I'm going to go on the couch, right? Turn the heater on, get a nice little comforter, have maybe Simpsons on in the background. Okay, maybe I'll watch a little G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, or, watch something from the 80s. And then once I just get a little bit of that 10 minutes of that 80s cartoon of either Transformers, G.I. Joe, or like Ninja Turtles, things start to, it's like you start to kind of understand what's important and how much simpler things were back then. But sometimes it's good to be able to have that disconnect of what's going on here, and then just going back to more of a simpler time. That's facts. All right, let me look at some of these Novas. What color is the Nova? Because this guy had a lot of different colors of Novas at his house. It's crazy because like back in like the 80s and 90s, you saw colors like this all over the place. Now you never see a color of this car. Look at this. Remember these? And like the ones that had like the wood panel and stuff, like you would see like different like styles of different cars, but you'll never see this color, this like caramel type of color. 73 too. It's not the most appealing color. We know this. There's other ones that are going to look much, much better. Like I'll show you one that's like a stylish, like, but I always like kind of the appreciation for like the lost, you know what I mean? Like Imagine like something like this exists still with that the original paint with the looking like that. To some people, that's ugly. To me, that's history. You know, it's like, yeah, it might not be the best color overall, but guess what? It fucking exists, and it's going to be probably more rare than something like this, which still looks amazing. And obviously, that's going to be souped up. Another 73. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think anyone really cares for like the brown or copper or caramel, right? But it's like, I don't know. I think it's just one of those things. It's like, it's not really the greatest color. I mean, I get it, right? But just the fact that it exists, it's weird, it's rare, you know. It's definitely it's gonna command, you know, a certain type of audience. But definitely, there's ones that are much better. And even if you go with like this color here, this is cool. I like this 73 red. That always pops. Red and the black. Red and black always pops with the cars. But sometimes when you get with like a white or a gray, and obviously the grays weren't as big a thing back then, but that's a 73. That looks dope. But the white and gray, Nova SS, like this, like right here. Like if I was going to drive one, it'd be like this one. Like I like this. I like this color. I like this look. Like this. That I could easily drive that. But they got so many colors and obviously new paint jobs, you know, and they'll have the oranges but this one right here, this one would be the best one. This one's a 72. I like this, right? And I like the red. I like the red actually more than this. This is a cool look, but if you want something, but if you want to go here and upgrade it, then you go to a 72. And then this one is one of the really nice ones. So you go from a 73 and then let's go to look how clean that looks. That's like, yeah, museum. Like, oh my, you know, that's what you'd want to drive. That would be the ultimate goal. Look at that beauty. So it's always good to be able to look at stuff like this too. It's you know, whatever connection you have. You know, for me, sometimes it's cards or you know, just athletes or wrestlers or toys. You know, you just got to, you know, old school cartoons. You just got to get in touch, you know, with yourself 5 years ago, 10 years ago, even 30 years ago, you know, and you have those memories. And I think when you tap into that stuff from 5 to like 15 years old, 5 to 13, some of those memories can be like bad memories, but there's also really good ones there too, of like the toys and the food and the cartoons. And if you can find a way to reconnect with some of those things, or working on cars, if you worked on cars back in the day and you haven't done it in 20 years plus, and now it's, you know, always been something you wanted to get to. Yeah. Oh, wow. They got Bogarts? No way. Well, they fucking struck out on Trey Turner and struck out on Aaron Judge, so they had to give someone money. Wow, that's a big signing for them. Well, they already struck out twice, though.
One thing for sure. The three men in this ring live and breathe for the sport of professional wrestling.
And also, too, if you have like a sense of style, sometimes it's like the rear, like you get the front of the car, but also like, I got to try to find something here that's got like maybe a good front and back photo.
These men make a statement this Friday night on Rampage. I make a statement. I'm going to challenge any wrestler in the world to come right here in this ring and find out.
Just cool that some of this stuff still exists, that the collectors had enough garage space or, you know, they were rich enough to be able to maintain it and not have to worry about selling it. And it's got its own space and it's not going to maybe collect a lot of dust like some other places. But yeah, like I would love to be able to go to like some like museum, you know, place, you know, or even go to like some of the NASCAR headquarters and be able to see like old school stuff like this. This would be insane. Like I could always go to like a zoo or go to like aquarium, and I'd have a lot of fun going to different aquariums across the globe and whatnot, but especially the United States because I like animals and whatnot. But yeah, definitely going something like, and I could peek around and, you know, like I don't know where this fucking place is at right here, this unique classic car place, but they look like they got almost every photo is them based on this little thing here. Pretty cool. Yeah, they got themselves a little selection. Wow, 11 years, 280 million. Well, that money would have went, 300 or 400 million if they were going to try to get, obviously Trey Turner or, Aaron Judge. So for 11 years, 280, they got a steal because they're not really giving them that much because obviously those other guys are getting 120 more million, at least 350, 400 million. But it's a big, big deal. Yeah. And he's a good player, so it's definitely going to help. No, yeah, I agree. Yeah. Everyone's got their style, and some like stock, and some like, to be able to have the different like kits that go with them and whatnot. Ooh, this one's cool. This is a 69. It's a unique look. It's a unique color too. Look at this one. What would you call this color? What is this? What is this? What would this be? It's not yellow. It's not kind of a cream. What would we call this? It's not like a cream white. I don't know what you would necessarily call this particular color. I like it though. I don't see too many with this particular color. Bogarts and the Padres, 11-year, $280 million contract. Yeah, now all the dominoes are starting to fall. I just hope the Mariners can get like one or two more people. Yeah, it's got to be the Mariners' turn soon now. We got to make a move. Yeah, kind of a cream, right? I mean, like if I'm trying to be with like fashion and things from back in the day for us that are a little bit older than some of the younger generation that watches the stream. But okay, I hope you feel better. Thank you for grinding it out for 2 hours and 30 minutes. And the stream is always better. And if you didn't show up today, you wouldn't have been able to hang out with Holly. And I know that lifted her spirits and lifted your spirits. And I hope everyone gets better. Both of you two are not 100% now. And I wish the best for you. And I hope you guys get better soon. And I will probably end up seeing you tomorrow for the game unless you feel sick. But get some rest. And I'll talk to you tomorrow morning, and we'll probably go over some of the new deals in baseball because that's what we do. As soon as we wake up, if there's some new deals, boom, okay, we can talk about this on the show. Boom, boom, boom. Get better. Appreciate you. And, yeah, maybe it is an Art Deco yellow. Yes. You two get better. Get better.
#1 at GNC and #1 at Walmart. But you can only get your complimentary bottle by texting ALIVE to 42424. Thanks.
It'll make you feel like a new man. And by the way, she'll like it too.
Get your complimentary bottle of Nugenix now. Text ALIVE to 42424. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free.
Hi, I'm Dana White. I'm bringing the newest combat sport to the world stage. Welcome to Power Slam. This January on CBS, we're looking for the next superstars of Power Slam. 16 hopefuls will live together, train together, and compete for the chance to be the next Power Slam.
I kind of like the green. I mean, some of these like 69 Chevy Novas. Oh my gosh. Like some of these, like green is my favorite color. So obviously everyone's got their own like favorite color or look. And sometimes this is going to be too much green for someone. And for someone like me, it's just the right amount. But I like the kind of the brightness, and it has to have like that right tint. But I don't know, it kind of reminds me of a Hot Wheel. And anytime I can get those kind of unique colors, I'm not sure if what you would call that, if it's a forest green's usually darker. And it's got a little lime green kind of in it as well. Kind of goes from a dark to light, but.
Jamie Hayter is the undisputed AEW Women's World Champion. And a week ago during an interview, she asked the question, why not a sit-down interview with me? Well, champion, the floor is yours.
Saraya gets to sit down. Okay. Tony gets to sit down. All right. But not with me. That kind of baffles me a little bit. So, Tony, go ahead, please. Ask me some questions. What do you want to know?
The women's division here in AEW has been blossoming. We've got some great competitors, and coming up on Rampage, it is going to be Sheeta.
Yeah, they do a few like
Some of your thoughts.
yeah, emerald green. Yeah, that's a good one. That might be that's what it is. Candy apple red, blue, metallic finish. Yeah.
In this division, and everyone's trying to grind their way to the top. Get this. I'm going to do my duty as a champion to be reigning and defending. Let me tell you something. I'm going to.
Oh my gosh, sure. Hold on.
Close look at the Regina DeWitt
Look at this.
Championship match on Rampage. Thing is, doesn't really hold a candle to the AEW Women's World Championship, does it?
Well, no, nothing does. Really.
No, nothing does, because this is AEW.
Right.
But I'm going to give one of those girls.
Oh, like that. That's the candy apple.
Whoever wins that match, they get to wrestle me for the AEW Women's World Championship, if they dare.
Fighting champion.
Yes, you're correct. Fighting champion, and a bloody good one at that.
The undisputed.
What about the maroon? You like the maroon as much, or you don't like the maroon one as much? This 69. It's not my favorite or anything, but I mean it's clean just because it's like such a awesome car. It's got a look to it. It's not like a candy apple red, but it's a little darker, or maybe it's just I don't know if maybe it's just the lighting, but it looks like it's like a darker version.
This is a big time entrance. Well, this is the undefeated, the reigning, the dominant TBS champion.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's always good to reconnect as we get older. It's so important to reconnect, you know, and sometimes, you know, you can look forward in life and stuff, and sometimes people don't want to go back if it's like negative, but there's also good stuff that happened back then where you can reconnect and it can bring out some joy and give you an idea, be creative, and maybe it'll let you go towards the next thing where maybe you're like, oh, wow, okay, these kind of got me inspired to maybe like try to work on the car in a couple months when I'm feeling up for it, and, you know, things of that nature, just kind of keeping yourself engaged with, you know, things. And it's always good with that. I'm gonna see if I can find a good metallic blue. Yeah, this is my favorite color. I mean, they have different variations of the blue, like a bright, lighter blue, and then the darker blue. This one is a very it's a 72, and there's all kinds of different shades of the blue. But they have like that. That color is very nice on the eyes, and then they also have stuff that's like, you know, darker. This one's nice too. This is a little darker look.
We've got 3 big debuts announced for the new year. First on Wednesday, February 1st, another center in Dayton, Ohio. Then 1 week later, El Paso, Texas, the El Paso County Coliseum on Wednesday, February 8th. And then Revolution on pay-per-view from the Chase Center, the home of the Warriors, in San Francisco, California, on Sunday, March 5th. Tickets available this Friday, December 9th. And they make great holiday gifts, Tony. Yes, they do. We got a whole week in San Francisco coming.
It's clean.
True. We have a historic Cop Palace, March 1st.
Yeah.
And then the 5th, we're at the Wow Club. We're going to roll up there. Like,
Yeah, it's always cool to go down you know, something. And like I said, if you didn't come into the room today, we probably wouldn't be looking at this stuff. That's why I always look forward to having certain goats, you know, come through and show up, because they're going to be able to, you know, we'll talk about something that we either thought about or something that happened or something that we read, and then that just leads to, you know, some other, you know, topic, and then we can go kind of down that route, and it's good. It's like, you know, it's always good to be able to kind of switch things up. So that's why it's not the same, you know, the same types of things. Like we can kind of switch it up a little bit. So yeah, and I like looking at the old school stuff. I could do it all day. I used to, you know, Super Street and some of the magazines, and then the what was the paper magazine that would have the cars in it? Auto Trader? Is that what it was called? Oh, I used to get that all the time. Just to look at the fucking cars that were in there. Not even just when I was looking for a car. I just got it because I was like, I want to see what's available. And I went for a few years where I was getting it pretty often. I won't lie. Good old Auto Trader. It's a cool shot. Dark blue 73. Really? Really? Does it bring back memories? This color? That's a cool color. Like, you know, that definitely can bring back memories. Blues are always nice. I got that for like Mariners and stuff. And even though like Buccaneer stuff is like red and everything, but I don't really like, I mean, I do like the red, but there's just other colors that I think I would, you know, that are a little bit more, I guess, calming. Blue's more calming, obviously, with water. Green is my favorite. Like, that's like my style, you know. Does not even have to be Oregon Ducks, but I live here in Oregon, and this is green that just suits me. That's just who I am. But I definitely can appreciate and drive something like this or something like that with a gray, yeah. But, and then obviously I like this bright blue. That's nice. It's kind of like a sky blue. And the dark blue one looks good too. Going down memory lane. Memory lane is always good. And even if it's just for a little bit, you know, that's why I'm like the DJ. I just have to bring you down memory lane and open up your, you know, brain to, you know, the past. And then, you know, to go that route. And then you decide what path that it opens up a memory. You know, like I've been buying like recently, like I've been buying Pepperidge Farm cookies. And I've been trying to buy all the ones my mom bought as a kid. And I literally have these like flashbacks. And now I'm like, I have to go look for them. Like they have all the different variations. But the butter cookies, oh my God. Like I might go to the store after the stream's over just to go get some. I mean, they're to die for. I've had so many butter cookies in my life, but Pepperidge Farm is like, it's expensive. You don't get a whole lot of their cookies, but you can tell like the love and the ingredients are high end. And there's a reason why they've been around for a long time. But yeah, if you go to the grocery store and you're going to be buying some Oreos or some Chips Ahoy or Nutter Butters, or you're going to be buying some chips or Wheat Thins, you know, you can always go down that Pepperidge Farm. And man, I mean, some of the cookies that I bought, I have not had since maybe 30 years ago. You know, like I haven't had them. And just, you know, you can dip it in milk or you can just have it. But wow, I mean, it's just those little things in life, you know, to bring you a little joy. And I can sit there and watch Simpsons and, you know, have some of those like old school, you know, treats from back in the day. Now, if they still made like Kudos bars, then I probably would be on cloud nine. Like if I could actually get Kudos to come back and they could actually, I think they would sell. I really do. It's like they would just, you know, you just have to market yourself, a couple commercials. You don't even have to have a big sponsor. You just have to throw those Kudos bars on the commercial and you're like, oh shit. Like you can even have animals on there. Boom. Dogs and cats walking by, Kudos bars. Boom. Everyone goes to the grocery store, including Orion, and I buy all the Kudos bars. Because that's a big memory in my childhood too. So. Yeah. Oh, I can't remember. That one is awesome though, because then it gives you a little bit of everything. And the butter cookies, they have a special bag right now where it's the holiday season one. So it's a green bag. So on the butter cookie itself, they have like designs, but they do like a tree. You know, so it's more like holiday stamping compared to some of the other stuff where they would do like chess pieces. You know, like different pictures of like other stuff that's on the actual cookie itself. But yeah. So I'm definitely going and buying some of those. And something as little as that, it sounds silly, but I mean, if it unlocks a memory for me from 20, 30 years ago and how great those were. And, you know, sometimes you just have to find little things to keep you going, you know. I know I should look that up to see what the variety pack is.
Turning point right here. Red Velvet too. She's got to try and get Layla in or Gabe, but Gabe's not really putting an effort into even being able to get a tag. Hero walks in this thing. Q walks in badly.
I've never had a bad one of their brand. You know, sometimes you're going to be like, well, you know, maybe I'll like a couple of them, but I'm not going to like them all. I literally have never had anything like bad. So it's like, I'm not sure if they're like such a high end, like I need to go there. The chessmen. Let me see. Oh my God, if I could get this, like if I go to Safeway after the stream is over and I can get this, I might literally pass out. Like, this is insane. Hold up. I mean, this is stuff that I used to have like 30 years ago. But, oh my God. And then you just look at them and you can kind of remember what they taste like. The Milano's good. Thin Crisp, that's fucking bomb. I mean, I remember every single one, and they don't even have the butter cookie one on there. They have a chocolate collection. I guess they have all kinds of stuff.
And there you see the big screen maintaining her perfect undefeated record. Impressive. Very impressive. Jade Cargill rocking that TBS title. And great teamwork by
This is the holiday one. I bought this one. I went to the store. I bought this one like a couple days ago. Like, you can almost eat the whole thing by yourself. They're just like too good. But if you want to try an amazing butter cookie, grab that. You'll probably eat the whole thing, the whole package by yourself. It's insane. It's like there's no way in hell you can eat one. It's just not fucking possible. They are way too fucking good. Lots of flavor too. It is, you know, and I think that's why sometimes it's like I can use my platform for good, and you know, I can try to kind of point out little things that maybe everyone knows, but maybe just need to be reminded. And especially if we're in a funk, we're not thinking clearly. You know, we just want to get back to our normal routine and normal selves and stuff, and we just got to be able to find those things that will help us maintain instead of going further and further down. We need to find ways to kind of get back to the surface, and slowly and surely, if you hang around the right people, then boom, you know, over time. But you know, that's why it's important to be able to vibe. Yeah, very good. Seriously, they must. I mean, I saw like they have like some facility a picture that they showed, and I was like, oh. And I imagine the people that work there get freaking really. They probably get like really good deals, or like free stuff, or discounted like tremendously.
You want to do this with me, Ashley? No? Yeah? Oh, cool. All right, I'll find someone. It's no big deal.
A big challenge thrown out by Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
Oh my gosh. Sign me up. And those Veronas, they have like the little jelly inside the cookie on the bottom right corner. Those are good too. I was thinking about buying those maybe today. I haven't had those in like 25 years or 30 years. It kind of just reminds me of my mom. And then the Brussels, those are the best ones, the thin, crispy ones. I like those a lot. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you. Appreciate you. It's always good to, you know, go down all these different memory lanes. Bang, bang. Boom, boom. Bang, bang. That's why it's always good for me. It's like I can always, you know, call a game, but sometimes it's just nice to be able to be real and just discuss on like what's going on. And if you can connect with people and you know them enough, it's not necessarily saying the right words at the right time to the right person, but it's just, you know, being able to try to connect and understand people, and everyone's different. And if you know someone enough, you know, maybe the things that could make things a little better. So, but good choice with the cars and everything there too. And then this one brought you back. You're like, oh shit, this is like my childhood. Yeah, but I got to be careful with this. You know what I mean? Like I've still been walking. Like today was extremely cold. And so it's like I try not to, because I know myself. You know what I mean? If I grab some of these and if I don't just like stop myself, like regardless if you're stoned or not. I mean, these are they're hard not to eat all in like a night or whatever, depending on how late I'm staying up or whatever. But the little things sometimes can be the big things. It leads to the bigger picture for sure. Yeah, appreciate you very, very much. $3. Holla, bang, bang, boom, boom, bang, bang. Thank you. Appreciate you. And like I said, we can, however long you guys want to go. I don't know what your guys' timetable is and your schedule is on how you got it. We're 11 minutes away from 3 hours. We can go to that time marker and we can end. If you want to go a little bit longer than that to the, 3 hour and 30-minute mark or something of that nature, we can do that. I mean, I would assume if we go for 11 more minutes, most people would be probably cool with that. Obviously, I would want to go a little bit longer to try to be able to get maybe closer to a certain goal. But, sometimes we're just all at a certain point where we kind of all agree that this would be a good time. And, and then, like I said, I'm doing the game tomorrow. So, we'll there'll be an opportunity there to try to grind it out and go that route. But like I said, I'm willing to stay here. I don't know what your guys' feelings are, but if you want to hang out for a little bit longer, I'm cool with that. If you guys want to stop in 10 minutes, just let me know what you guys want in the room and let me know what you want. And I'll hook you up here. Let me get you some good stuff. The good stuff. Yeah, I mean, sometimes staying a little bit longer is good for the soul, If we want to go for the 3 hour and 30-minute mark, go for 40 more minutes, I'm down with that. Probably, I mean, I have to stop it by 11 my time, which would be an hour and 9 minutes, because that would be essentially 4 hours because of, obviously the school tomorrow and whatnot. So, but I try to usually end before 11 during the week. And then once it's like Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday, I mean, those don't really matter as much, but yeah, but I won't be recording Saturday, but we'll be recording Thursday. We're recording Friday, and then we'll be back Sunday. But I'm going to go to the arcade and then play a bunch of video games and have a blast, and then have some really, really good food from either, probably not at the game. We'll probably find like a spot, close, like across the street from the game, or a place to eat or something, unless we do like a pizza thing. And then, then go to Blazer game with my bro, and then we're gonna go see the Timberwolves. So. And as long as Damian Lillard there, that'll make it better. So that'll be a nice little just kind of refresher for me to kind of get away for just a day and then have fun and then get right back into the grind on Sunday and then do some football games. So. Anything that you want to see or go? I'm going to start deleting some of these photos to make room for more. Is there anything else that you want to see specifically? Let me know. Just type it in. We can do other chief players. We can do food. I mean, I'm willing to hang out. I mean, usually I don't like doing 3-hour streams. I like usually doing like 4 or more. That's just kind of how I'm been, kind of just been built to do those and whatnot. But I usually like to leave it up to you guys. So whatever you guys feel would be good for you. Oh, main event. World Tag Team Championship. Hell yeah, this is what I was waiting for. Hell yeah, FTR. That's what I'm talking about. They have really cool music. It's like Nintendo music in their intro. And they were in WWE, and they made them look like fools. And then they came over to AEW, and they've been winning belts in Japan. And they're coming to the ring, and they got 3 belts each. And they're awesome. And the coolest thing is with these guys, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, Dax is like the realest fucking guy as a wrestler. Like, he's just so real. And, he'll tell you, what this journey has been about. And that's why they're so cool. It's not just like the wrestling part and the microphone skills. It's just the dude's got a daughter. He is just the realest dude as far as being a professional wrestler and being able to connect with people. I follow him on Twitter, and I normally don't follow wrestlers on Twitter at all. And very cool dude. So we'll see what happens here tonight. And yeah, let's hang out for a little bit. I'm not really ready to go just yet. I want to go to at least the 3 hour and 30-minute mark if you guys are down. 35 minutes minimum, and then I could go longer after that. But yeah, we can do whatever you want. Whatever makes you happy. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I mean, we got 35 minutes to kind of lift your mood and make things a little bit better. So anything you want, you just type it in and let me know, and I got you. You know, it's like I said, I'd rather cater to someone than just putting up stuff for myself. I just try to pull up things that I know that might be some of your favorites, and put a little smile, and sometimes that helps. Just being able to hang out and see amazing things that you only see here. Compared to other channels or other places.
Well, let's go back down to Justin Roberts for the main event introduction.
Introducing the challengers, they are the AAA, IWGP, and Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler.
But hopefully things are a little bit better now since you've come through. I know things have been pretty tough, and hopefully things have gotten a little bit better for you since you've come in here. I think they have. Get to go down memory lane a little bit with the Nova and get to see some of your favorites. So I'll let you guys decide where we go from here. If you guys want to do food or whatever direction you want to go, I will cater to you guys. Good. That's what it's about. And like I said, we all go through tough times. As long as I can, pay rent, pay my bills, I'm still going to grind every day or almost every day. And, things there's some months might be much worse than others. You know what I mean? I just got to stay the course. And it's really about just making sure that, the people that do support are okay. It's not just me. We all have to look out for each other. And, sometimes we can feed off each other and that good energy. That's what you need, hanging around positive people that want you to level up. If you're hanging around people that are bringing you down, that's not the right crowd. That's why I had Facebook. I literally deleted like 300 people, more than half that were on there. I had like 500 plus, and now I'm down to like 215. And even to me, that's maybe too many. So some people will probably find out and message me and be like, we're not friends or whatever. But, there's just, sometimes it's just better to have a smaller circle and whatnot. And, sometimes you need to cut off certain people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to be looking at everybody's stuff all the time, especially if we're not really, really friends. Like, we might know each other, but that might be the extent of it. So. You want to see for a wrestler? Do you want to see some bowl, or do you have any like other ones that you want to see? You got any wrestling? If you want to like a name of one, or just let me know, and then I will. Oh my gosh, look at the face on this little kitty. It's like, I'm more of a dog person, and I won't lie about that. I am a dog person 100%. But with this being said, you just see certain ones, and even if you're a dog person, it would be hard not to fall in love with a cat or something. Like, look at the itty bitty, the eyeballs and little baby nose. And I mean, it'd be hard not to fall in love with certain ones for sure.
Good job by Castle. I talked about how they play things beyond their A game. No pun intended. They are firing on all cylinders. This is why they are the AEW World Tag Team Champions. With FTR, just so dangerous, can change the complexion of a match.
Yeah. Plus, it's good for my mental health too. You know what I mean? So I can always You know, I can always go a short period of time or a long period of time, but sometimes it's just, you know, you just need to be able to have the time. And sometimes, you know, taking an extra 30 minutes or hour is what you needed. And then you can get, you know, feel good, you know, and then try to go after something, you know, and decide what's going on tomorrow and, you know, game plan and then kind of set yourself up for success the rest of the week. So, he's on FTR. So he's a bald guy with a mustache. His name's Dax Harwood. But he's got a daughter, and he's always like, you know, talking about her. And you don't see wrestlers do that. You know what I mean? They try to stay in character, but you know, they're just really passionate dudes. But he kind of gives you a little bit more like realism of what his life is like. And with his posts, you know, he'll show stuff like where his daughter will paint his nails, and you know how some guys, they're not about that life or whatever. But if you have a daughter, you're trying to make your daughter happy, you know, you're comfortable with yourself, and it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Like, but and then he's brought her onto the shows before as well, which is pretty cool. But they were kind of like, you know, they were pretty good. And with Vince McMahon, they just like let them go. And then now they're having all the success in the world. And now they want them back. But I don't think they're going to go back. And I don't think they should either. It's like one of the bright spots for AEW is the tag team. Tag team division has been very good lately. $2 holla. I'll bring up a picture. And I like people that are real, you know, like that just someone that's really genuine. And that's like, I've already liked wrestling. Bang, bang. And he's already got the passion for it, but I'll show you. And the guys are legit like best friends. So it's not like this like made up friendship or whatever. Or they are literally like ride or die guys that have been grinding together for quite a while. And these guys are like really intense, you know, they're like more old school wrestlers back from like the 80s and 90s where they're like, hold on. So the guy on the left, that's Dax Harwood. But yeah, and like I said, they have more of like an aggressive style and stuff, but they're like so respected in Japan and all the federations. And it's just like a lot of guts, a lot of hard work. And they finally got their time to shine, and they're way over with the fans. Like the fans fucking love them. And they got this like video game gonna boom, 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 boom. It's got like kind of like a Nintendo sounding intro. Yeah, it's very cool. Like it's like everything about them is cool, and it's just like they were thrown away like garbage, and then they were being able to like revitalize their careers. They were called the Revival, and they were doing stupid skits where they were like shaving each other's backs in the locker room, and the Usos were like, you know, they made them like this like dumb like tag team, and then they said, all right, well, screw you then. I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna go over to this other federation. They did some Japan stuff, and now they're one of the most popular tag teams in the world. And yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, so if you ever see them wrestle, you'll probably enjoy their matches. Like anytime they put on a show, and they have really good chemistry too, because in life they do, you know, travel together. They are best friends. They do love each other. They're like bros. Like you can tell, like their family knows that family. It's like they're going to be wrestling together as like a team probably for the rest of their careers. So it's very cool. You know what else is very cool? This. All right, so we got 28 more minutes, and I think that'd be a good stopping point. So do you guys want to go to food? Is there anything specific you guys want? Do we want to go to like nostalgia? Do we want to go that route? I mean, whatever you guys want, you let me know. I'm just trying to be able to create some great vibes for you guys. That's a cool one, huh?
It's about more than just selling cars. Share the love of it.
$2 holla. And I appreciate you. I know how things are tight and things are tough, and this is, you know, not something that you know, every dollar counts. So I do appreciate it very, very much. Thank you so much. Bang bang. And I know things will hopefully get better for everybody, you know, because everyone goes through the ups and the downs, and especially when we have bad things that are happening to us We just have to know that it'll pass, and the more that we overreact, the worse that we're going to feel, and so we just have to be able to find those times where we're catching ourselves like sliding a little bit, and then, take a shower, go for a walk, listen to music, watch your favorite TV show, order your favorite food, watch Law and Order SVU and go get that pad thai and, make a day of it, make a night of it. You know what I mean? And I think doing those little things definitely really help. I know pad thai sounds very good. I might end up getting that tomorrow. So it's always nice to be able to do those things. And I think once you do those things, or if you make something, like if you do like a really good one would do like baked beans and cornbread. If you do something like that, something simple where it's not like too crazy, but if you do that could be really good, a comfort meal, and really change your mood moving forward. Like that's something that I've kind of been thinking about doing, like, I don't know, for a couple months now. And I know that Shep and Chief will send me photos of food, like when they go out, if they do like some lobster broil or like really good burger or Mexican food and stuff. So all right, let me delete some of these other ones.
Picture, you saw FTR with that catapult into the ring apron on Max Caster, and it has been all FTR since then. And they're dominant right now. They're showing why. Yeah, I mean, again, let's talk about the schedule they've kept this year. London, Mexico, Japan,
okay.
all over the U.S. Well, that big dynamic crossbody.
Yeah, FTR reminds you of like an 80s, 90s tag team, like someone that would like, you got like Ric Flair and all these other guys out there, and this would be a team that they'd be going against or something. Yeah, very cool. And we got some trash can nachos. Yeah, I'll do some ramen or Thai food. Let's do it. That's a great choice. That's why I need you in the room more often, just because you got really good suggestions and you engage. Sometimes like I'll be in here and I'm just waiting for people to kind of like engage, and it's like I can always pull up whatever I want, but it's like I like it better when I can hear from you, and so I can get to know you and like what you want to see. Like not everyone. I mean, I can always pull up the waffles or the nachos or the tacos. Yeah, but I mean, it's always good to get those suggestions too. Ooh, with the egg too. Oh my gosh, I would dive into this right now. Oh my God, I could probably eat 2 bowls. No, I probably couldn't because the bowl is probably fucking huge and it'll get full after a while. But man, and then that's like another thing that I, even pho or like a really good ramen place, like that's good for the soul too because of the broth. A lot of times, like people love the noodles and the vegetables and the meat, but to me, the broth is really where it's at. I'll tell you, there's some fucking wizards in the kitchen, man. Ooh. I can almost taste the photo. I imagine you guys got some pretty good places out in your neck of the woods out there. And there's all kinds of noodles with very many different Asian cultures. Oh man. Yeah, these ramen and different noodles. And then hold up, this one. This next one is like a feast. Jeez, like look at that. Oh my gosh, like that's almost like heaven. You're just like jumping right in there. We love having you. You're always good. You see, some people know, and some people don't. Yeah, see. See, this is, you never knew that you needed this, and sometimes it's like you'll have these ideas, but how many people are gonna be like, oh, I got an idea of something, and then all of a sudden they're gonna go to the computer and just start staring at that particular, it's a much easier when we can just talk, and then I can bring it up, and then we can just look at the greatness. Oh my gosh, I'm getting some ideas for. Oh man, that's a good one. That one is a good one. I mean, I'm not sure if you can put a price on a photo, but it definitely can create a vibe, and that's what I try to do. Got to laugh every day. Sometimes it's good to cry too. It's funny too, like, whenever I watch the Goldbergs, it's like impossible for me not to like get like a little emotional when I watch that show. It just depends on like the meaning and the family aspect, the lesson. But it's not the same without the dad. Oh my goodness. Let me just dive in. Let's chill in there. Oh, I could smell this photo. And oh my God, look at all the extras. Like, I wouldn't even care right now. Like, it's like, oh, that's $30. I don't care. Yes, please. I know, whatever. It's normally supposed to be 15. I got to pay 30. I don't care. Like, oh my gosh, it's so good looking. Oh, I've seen a lot of ones, but man, that is good. Food and water. That is the recipe for getting yourself back on track. Food or water, either in person or on the internet. Good match. Oh, yes, please. It does. But isn't that weird? Like how our brains, it's like, whether it's Matrix or whatever, and they, blue pill, red pill, or like you virtually, but like certain ones, you'll like have a memory based on just a photo, and you can kind of smell and taste the texture of like certain things. Like I can even do that sometimes with like the Pepperidge Farm. Like I can see the box and I look at and I can remember like the way that the crunch tasted, the texture of the cookie, or like texture of like the different materials when you're in the broth. And yeah, it's just crazy how our brains work like that. But there's definitely certain ones that I can taste and smell the photo. I know you can too.
Try a third time watching. I don't blame him. Oh, man. A big Texas-sized lariat for Cash Wheeler. 3 in a row. The power bomb. The jackknife. No, Cash rolls through. He's got the lights off, too. Through the guys. God, what a match. What a battle for the AEW World Tag Team titles. The champs retain. What a match. What a victory by the Acclaim. I said they had to be perfect.
Oh, it is.
And they were with that counter, Taz. Oh, they definitely were.
Got different pad ties that we're putting up here.
Great job by all 4 men. What a match. Look, I mean, Cash shocked. I don't blame him. Shouldn't have his head.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to Safeway and grab. I mean, I'm gonna have to pick up a couple like just probably like toilet paper, like necessity stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna have to figure something out.
Don't think that they are absolutely done because they will be back. And they will be back soon.
Showing respect right here from Daddy Ash, big thing towards FTR. To say, let's scissor it. FTR maybe not scissor guys, but this scissor.
Thank you, Holly. I appreciate you. $5 holla for the ramen. $5 donut on the cash app. Bang, 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 bang. No problem. Yeah, like I said, we got 15 minutes. I want to go to that 3 hour and 30-minute mark. Yeah, I appreciate you. Like I said, yeah, and sometimes I need it too, though. It's not just like I try to make other people's day. I mean, I'm trying to, do it for myself too. So anything that I'm a visual person, so we got 15 minutes. So I'll let you decide what you want to do here for the last 15. You decide what foods, anything else, Korean barbecue, whatever you're thinking. You want to go towards more chicken tortilla, whatever you want. I got you. And then we'll end the stream in 15 minutes. And appreciate, the support. The donos are always, coming from a great place, even when things are tough for both of us. And just having you in the room, it makes the stream 1,000 times better. The donos are 100% legit because obviously I need that to live and survive. But I'd rather, just having you in the room, even if you couldn't, it's still worth it to me, at the very, very, very top, because we both need to be able to, it's good to be able to connect, especially if it's been a few days. And plus with other people like Sarah and the other people in the room, it's not just, with one person, you can connect with quite a few. And it's nice. Sometimes we need that, You don't want to just kind of tuck yourself away in just your own little area. That's when things get kind of rapidly worse. It's good to be able to have those conversations. So, but we did a lot. We got to see some Novas. We did food. We really maximized like the last 2 hours of the stream or the last hour and a half, and we got a lot there. So yeah, we just got to be able to surround ourselves around people that motivate us, and that's why I had to cut off a lot of other people. Because I mean, if I'm supporting you and I'm trying to inspire you, and you can't even support me at all, or throw me a like on one of my posts, or what I mean, I'm trying to work with you here and stuff. But if you're not taking my words, then at some point I just got to stop. It's just not going anywhere. So yeah, I can, like I said, we got 14 minutes, so I can give you a little bit of everything there. We'll cycle down through some of these photos here, and if you get an idea of anything while I'm going down these photos, then you just type it in the chat, and I'm just doing it for you guys. So and you get first dibs, Ramen. You get first dibs, Mrs. Ramen, my ramen girl. I appreciate you. And then we'll be doing this tomorrow. I can't promise the most entertaining game on planet Earth, but Johnny does great work. This looks good. I might actually try to go towards this maybe tomorrow, especially if it's going to be kind of like gloomy weather, but I'm trying to get those walks in with Paisley. I'm like a cat that can't solve a problem. Having a problem, look at that. How can you have a problem anymore? You can't, Oh, man, that ramen looks insane. We've been saying that for every matchup on Thursday Night Football. And if you actually look at the slate, there's just been so many fucking bad games, horrible matchups, just bad teams. There's not very many good teams in the NFL right now. You know what I'm saying? You got the Eagles, you got the Cowboys, right? Eagles, Cowboys, Minnesota Vikings is the top tier, okay? And then Seattle and a few others, Niners, they'll be floating around, and I guess Tampa, Washington, the Giants, whatever. But the top tier is Eagles, Cowboys, Vikings. And then for you guys, it's, Chiefs, Bills, Bengals. And there could be a surprise team like Miami that goes maybe a little bit further, or Tennessee that surprises some people. But it's just, I don't know, a lot of bad teams. A lot of bad teams. That's what makes even though it's my full-time job, but it's just, good thing I love fantasy football as much as I do, because I mean, there's a reason why sometimes viewership isn't as good. It's just, people are not really intrigued in the matchup. And it's like with the Raiders, at least I get Devontae and Josh Jacobs, but not a whole lot other than that. Max Crosby and Chandler Jones on defense, but there's nobody on the Rams worth really watching unless we get Baker, I guess, for the drama, just to see if he's going to play. So. Yeah. Chargers, Chiefs. Yep. Well, anytime those two teams play, it's must-see TV. Bengals, Chiefs, Bills, Chiefs, Chargers, Chiefs. That's going to be money. The only ones that are going to be like, are going to be like the Broncos and the Raiders. So. Oh, Simpsons, my favorite. Tell you what, man. Simpsons does a body good. Puts me in such a great mood. It's the most consistent thing in my life since being 7 years old, 33 years. Simpsons has always been there for me, no matter what. That's why it's my favorite. The psychology of things. Yeah. And obviously, as the teams get better, the Raiders and the Broncos, then it'll, get ramped up. Obviously, everyone's going to be trying to come for the top dogs. So. Yeah, but if you have any information on the Texas Tech jersey stuff, like in the next week or so, I'll do my own research in the next couple days and see. But if you have anything additional with your friend or someone that is in like Chiefs Twitter that like has one or knows where to go to get the authentic real one, I know they make a red, a white, and a black, but I'm not sure which ones were available to the fans. So. But we'll find out. That's why, at some point, I mean, things have been kind of tight, but I mean, I'm going to try to get cyber, before the new year. But if I have to wait a couple more weeks just to make sure I get my stuff taken care of, and then, definitely want to make sure I get something that he likes. So, but he's got his heart set on, either like the high school, college type stuff, but it's got to be good quality. So, and I don't blame him, because especially if you want Mahomes to sign it can't be like a knockoff. So. All right. We got 9 minutes. You guys let me know where you want to go. And I'll be continuing to do these. Yeah, I'm gonna bring it no matter what. Like I just try to, some people will just like try to act like, oh, it's gonna be this. No, I mean we are, if you can just be honest about it, we are. But sometimes when you have matchups like this, that look, oh, this is gonna be horrible. Like no one cares about the Rams. Cooper Kupp's not playing. Aaron Donald is not playing. Matthew Stafford's not playing. Like who's actually out there? Maybe Jalen Ramsey, but Josh Jacobs has been one of the best running backs in the league this year, and Devontae Adams has been great. So at least I get that, and I get a couple defensive players, but. I would assume the Raiders will win, but you never know. And then also if Baker suits up, then it gives it a little extra piece of like, okay, what are we going to get? Like any type of good Baker if he gets a chance to play. So. Okay. Yeah. And I'm a Jersey guy. So, like I said, I used to sell jerseys myself, like do Mitchell and Ness, and I would buy from like a shop in, Nolans. They'd give me a little bit of a cut deal, and then I could sell them for a little bit more because they were, it's either you buy them from Mitchell and Ness or you could get it from like a private person. And if you buy in bulk, sometimes you get a little bit cheaper deal, especially with some of those Mitchell and Nesses would be like $500-$600. So, but yeah, I would appreciate that.
I participated in the wave, and I got to pee in a trough. Parks, can we get a trough?
Oh, this one's good. Gotta have like the noodles coming up. I'm hungry. I'm definitely going to the store here in like 7 minutes. Oh, thank you so much. Bang, bang. I always keep it 100%, real. It's like the one thing I think the Chiefs fans, let me do this here. Bang, 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 bang. Every team, right? Every team, I appreciate you very much. Has a weakness of another team that kind of has their number. You have the Bills number for years and years and years. They just couldn't get fucking past you guys. And sometimes they still have a problem with that. Like the games can be close, but most of the time you guys are winning. And it's like, and when they lose, they're losing barely. It's not like you guys are necessarily blowing them out. It usually is whoever has the ball last. And it's kind of painful when you come so close, but then fall short. And then you've lost by 3 points the last 3 times against the Bengals. But look on how bad you guys played in those 3 games. Other teams would have lost by 10 points or more. You barely lost by 3. So you have to keep it in perspective. Yeah, they're beating you and they have your number, right? And you have to get better defensive players to stop the run. You stop the run, you stop them, right? But if you can't stop Joe Mixon or Samaje Perine, they're going to find ways to have Burrow open up. And we have to be very honest with ourselves. As great as Patrick Mahomes is, as the number one, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Justin Herbert aren't that far behind. Like these guys are the top 4. And sometimes you're going to get someone like Joe Burrow that I even prefer over Josh Allen. Like for me, the pecking order would be like, I would go Mahomes 1, Burrow 2. If I was picking a quarterback, I would go Burrow even over Josh Allen. Obviously, Herbert's my guy from Oregon, but you could easily say, for most people, they go Mahomes 1, Burrow 2. Most people would probably be bandwagon because they get brainwashed by ESPN and Josh Allen is the best thing since sliced bread and they're winning the Super Bowl. So I have to be forced to say Josh Allen because they're force feeding me to say Josh Allen, but I don't think so. Like, you can go, Mahomes and then Burrow and then Allen and then maybe Herbert. But if Herbert can get more, coaching and have less injuries, I think that he could be closer to the other 3. He's not that far back. His stats are great, but he's just not on a very good team with a good defense or coaching, and they have an injury curse. But with Burrow, he's like Joe Montana. He makes throws that, not a lot of guys can. He doesn't make as many mistakes as Josh Allen, doesn't usually throw as many picks. It's just someone that I feel I trust more. Josh Allen is a great athlete. He can do the hurdles, this and that, but I think he's a little bit reckless. And that's why he has more picks than a lot of other quarterbacks because he takes chances. I want my guy to, take some chances, but to be a little bit smarter. So that's why I always go through that. And if you're going against arguably maybe the second or third or fourth best quarterback, and as far as future moving forward, it's going to be Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, and Herbert. And at some point, there's going to be a time where we may consider Herbert or Burrow the number 1 quarterback in the league, slightly over Mahomes or Allen if they have a great season or they have all the right pieces come together. So I think with the Chiefs fans, they're overreacting. Yeah, there's some blown calls. Yeah, there's some mistakes. There's some miscues, some questionable play calling, some lack of timeouts, lack of discipline. But with all those mistakes, every single game, it hasn't been the Chiefs game because it hasn't been the flow. Like you played a Bengals style game where you're almost kind of playing catch up and you're trying to take the lead and it's kind of like a battle. It's not like you're ahead and then they have to play catch up. Every time you play them, they punch you in the mouth. They usually score first or they're ahead and you have to fight back and then they keep fighting. And at the very end, usually they will win by 3 points. So I think that if you keep it in that perspective for Chief fans that are overreacting, it's not like you're losing by 13 or 23 or 33 and you're not going to be able to beat this team. It's just little minor tweaks, knowing that your running game wasn't very good. The play calling wasn't very good. The O-line got dominated. Their O-line and their D-line have been better almost every single matchup, where even though they supposedly have this horrible O-line, they play their Super Bowl effort against you guys. So maybe their O-line still stinks, but when they play against you, do you really see Joe Burrow getting sacked a lot from you guys? No, I mean, he sits back there almost too much. And if you let Mahomes sit back there too much, the game is over. So you have to be able to do that. But those are the little things that I've noticed is the line of scrimmage has been won by the Bengals in every one of those games. It's going to be harder to win in Cincinnati. Their crowd is rowdy. But like I said, whether that means getting better offensive linemen, making a choice with Orlando Brown or not, or getting better pieces and then having to get a true RB1 because obviously with McKinnon and, with Pacheco, they're more like RB2s playing RB1, and then Clyde is injured, so he's not in the mix, so you don't get that option. So it's like you're almost playing your own brand of ball. You're using undersized RB2s that are starting, that can see the hole and they can hit the hole. But the thing is also you have to be able to have a good play calls. And sometimes when you just keep running these running back dives right over the center, you're not getting yards. At some point, you got to bounce it outside or do like a jet sweep. So the creativity needs to come out. But a lot of times when you're playing tied or from behind, you're kind of not being able to be yourself. So you're like passing maybe more than you should be running. And when you do the run plays, they're not thought out. Like you're just, oh, okay, let's hand it off to Pacheco. And then he runs up the gut for 2. You need more, so I think working on those, and also the secondary needs work. A lot of young guys, a lot of young names, L'Jarius Sneed and Juan Thornhill, and a lot of these guys, and McDuffie's just come back, but they've underperformed. If you want to be able to get to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, get to the AFC Championship game, I need better production from the D-line. I need more sack lunches, more pressures. I need to see more consistency. Secondary needs to play better. They haven't been playing as good as they normally could. They've underachieved and let the team down. I feel the D-line, the O-line, and the secondary. And obviously the running game at times is shaky. So, and those are the things that we went into the season thinking, well, if we play a really, really good team, maybe this will be a challenge. And now you're starting to see that, instead of the Bills are the best team, or maybe we thought the Chiefs are the best team, and now there's a new wrinkle, there's a monkey, a new wrench into the equation. Now it's like, if you finally are like, okay, I'm going to fight you, Josh Allen, boom, all right, we're going to beat you. Then you think, okay, let's say you face each other, you eliminate the Bills. But what happens if you play the Bengals in the AFC Championship game? You could lose. So there's a little bit of a fear there because they have your number. But that, for me, for psychology, you just need to get back to the basics and just be better play callers and be more focused. And they got to be able to win the line of scrimmage. Simple. If you win the O-line, D-line battle, you're going to be able to flip that score and then beat them by 3 or maybe 7 or 10. But to me, it's just like the little subtle mistakes. But I think the Chiefs fans are like, oh, we're getting screwed. We need to win, but we also have to give credit where credit's due. Think about it. If you could have any other quarterback on the bank, going from, the Chiefs and Mahomes, think about how good Joe Burrow would do on Kansas City. So I feel that we need to also give respect that, Jamar Chase is great, right? T. Higgins is great. Tyler Boyd is great. You got Hayden Hurst there at tight end. And then you got normally Joe Mixon and Samaje Perine. And Perine is showing you that he's a lot more physical. And so if you guys can't stop physical backs, that's something that you guys got to, obviously address in the draft by getting better O linemen and better D linemen, or getting more free agents to come over and filling those positions. So that way there's more pressure on getting the best players on the line instead of hoping that a rookie is going to pan out. Because at some point, if you're not able to stop the run, Singletary or Samaje Perine or Mixon, there is a real, realistic possibility that they could go all the way to the Super Bowl and win, but they also could lose if they play the Bills or the Bengals. There could be another team like the Dolphins that might, surprising some people and playing pretty good. That would be like a sleeper. But I think it's very clear that you have the Bills number, but the Bengals have yours. So it's going to be kind of like every year you got 3 Hall of Famers, Burrow, Allen, Mahomes, and you're just going to be punching each other back and forth. And one year it might be Burrow, the next year it might be Mahomes, then it might be Allen. Right. I appreciate you. But I see some Chief fans getting a little bit over emotional, acting like you guys are losing by 13, 23, 33, like all is wrong in the world. And you're not going to win every game. This is the NFL. And the bottom line is, we just have to come to the grips is that Mahomes is the best quarterback in the world. And you can be a non-Chief fan and know that, right? But the pecking power and the power shift in the other quarterbacks, we used to have like Aaron Rodgers up there and Russell Wilson, but now it's Josh Allen and Burrow and Herbert. And I'm telling you, the gap between number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4 is such like every guy could throw for 3 or 4 touchdowns. Every guy could throw for 300-400 yards. Guys could also run in for touchdowns. Everyone is very versatile. It just depends on the style. And if you end up losing to Burrow or Allen, or even a Herbert, I mean, we're talking about like a John Elway versus a Dan Marino. I mean, that's what we're kind of getting right now. A Brady and Mahomes, a Brady and a Manning. It's like you're getting one epic guy versus another epic guy. And it's just, it sucks losing by 3, but also that's a good thing because you played like shit in those 3 games where honestly, you should have lost all 3 of those games by way more than 3. The simple fact that the team is so good that you're only losing by 3 says a lot, and that's what Chiefs fans need to hear. Like if I'm talking and counseling hardcore Chief fans that don't know how to, like break down this loss in their head without going crazy, it's just understanding that you played a hell of a lot worse than losing by 3. Like if you actually watch the flow of the game, like in most of those games, you should have lost by 7 points or more, maybe even some of them by 10, but you were such a good team that you fought back and, got some good drives going where you caught up and got it closer. But essentially you can still lose by 3, but it feels like you lose by maybe 13. You just got like some garbage touchdown when it didn't even matter to kind of close the gap on the score. But in essence, if you watch the game, it just felt like a 2-possession game almost the whole game. So, and I know it's tough. But that's kind of my breakdown, and I think Chiefs fans need to hear that. So, yeah, mistakes add up. And like I said, if you look at those 3 games, think about how many mistakes were made. It's not like you guys made one mistake. There was multiple mistakes, but also you have to understand you got to give credit to the Bengals because they're forcing you to make those mistakes because they're fucking good. Like they're such a good team. They're going to draw you off sides. Sometimes they're going to be chirping in your ear and then a guy throws an elbow and gets caught. And like, little subtle things, or maybe sometimes the play calling, they're better doing play calling when ahead. They're not so good when they're behind. Like they freak out a little bit sometimes, like, when they know they're going against a guy that could win a Super Bowl. It's like, I feel like when you guys go against the Bengals and the Bills, you're more laser focused, but also sometimes I think like, it's like paralysis by analysis. They're really trying to think 3 steps ahead. But when you're going against a good team, you just need to do one play at a time instead of like being like, you're not playing, up 13, you're down 10, act like it, make play calls like it, and don't abandon the run. And that's another thing too. So, and I know it can be frustrating. Yep. Right. Tyler in the building. What to do? Should have, yeah. But that is the nature in sports. And there's been plenty of times where you've beaten the Bills and they said, that should have been us. And you guys have literally ripped their hearts out multiple times, and they've been on the cusp of a Super Bowl, but they just can't get past you. So that feeling that you have against the Bengals, that's what the Bills feel towards you. So once you start like analyzing the losses and understanding that it feels horrible when you lose, but you got to put yourself in the other team's shoes. And then that's how I usually do the psychological thing. And I'm looking at stats and analytics. And then that way you can get a better understanding of their fan base and how they talk about your fan base and, what have they gone through? Like what have they gone through? It's easy to be like what I've gone through with my team. But then if you start looking at the rivalries on like maybe you have a number on them, on the Bills, right? And it feels good to be able to get those, but it don't feel good when you're losing by 3 to the Bengals. And now you're like, I wasn't even thinking that they were that big of a threat. It's like, okay, it was just me and the Bills. And then now you're like, holy shit. Like now there's another team that might take our spot, and that's got to be something that they don't ignore. And I know a lot of Chiefs fans, I think that a lot of them, there's a fear because they legitimately know how good Joe Burrow and that whole team is. And that team isn't even complete yet. The O-line needs a shitload of work, and the defense isn't even nowhere near being where it needs to be. And the Bills have a lot of injuries. Your team needs better secondary, better O-line, better D-line, and obviously better running game consistency. So everyone has their holes, but they have Burrow, they have Allen, they have Burrow and Jamar Chase. You got a plethora of weapons with Mahomes and Kelsey. And then, obviously they have Josh Allen and Diggs and Gabe Davis. It never ends. Even McKenzie, the third option wide receiver, is awesome for the Bills. So. Yes, I appreciate you guys. Well, we went a little bit longer there, but I figured that, it was good. Oh, yeah. And he's fumbled one time. I mean, and sometimes that's just the player making a really good play, and it's like, we can't overanalyze everything. And like I said, it's also good to lose because you don't want to just keep winning and getting too like cocky and boastful and feeling that you're untouchable. Then all of a sudden you go in the first round and then you play a team that you think that you should win by 20 and you lose by 3 because you played really slow in the first half. And you had to play catch up. So football is, it's all about being hot and healthy. You don't even have to be the best team anymore. You just have to be the team that's hot and healthy in December. So. Oh, I know. Trust me, I know. And that's why you just have to be able to surround yourself around the smart fans, not the bandwagon fans or the ones that just joined with Mahomes or ones that don't even understand football. It's like I said, yeah, and it's crazy too because they have so many good, positive people in the fan base, but there's also, a lot of negative fans. Believe it or not, I feel I have more relationships with the good fans, but I have seen the negative Chief fans. Not every Chief fan is created equal. There are some bad ones that ruin it for the other Chief fans for no reason. With some horrible take, and they try to get people worked up. Yeah. Yeah. Ugly win is winning by 1, 2, or 3. Like when Seattle played the Rams and they had no starters playing. Sometimes you'll have to take the low 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 point wins. Most games are decided by 8 or more. 16 is a blowout. You know what I mean? But everyone, like, how it goes, Holly, like just with fans, there's different levels of fandom. Everyone thinks they're an expert, even people that don't read, even that don't watch film or don't even watch the games. You could have a conversation and someone would just be like flipping on their phone and then they're on Twitter for 5 minutes and all of a sudden they're an expert and they're trying to teach me football. Everyone's a little bit different, you know what I mean? And we obviously know, that's why you got to just be able to surround yourself around the smart fans and the ones that are cool and chill instead of those fans that are just toxic. You know what I mean? It's like, you're not going to win every game. Okay. And like, guess what? You're going to have rivals. And guess what? A team is going to know you. And you got to understand. And if you're losing, be thankful you're losing to the fucking Bengals and you're not losing to like the Steelers, some team that's like shit, and they just have your number over and over and over. Then it makes you really doubt yourself. So you're actually losing to a team that went to the Super Bowl, that probably will win a Super Bowl, just like you. It's like all 3 of your teams are going to be battling it out for the next 10 years. Like it's going to be your 3 teams and then sprinkle in a few other teams every once in a while, Miami or the Jets or whoever the hell ends up being good, maybe Raiders or Denver one day, who knows? But if you got the star quarterback, those 3 are going to be linked together. You're going to get Mahomes, you're going to get Allen, right? You're going to get Burrow, and even once in a while you'll get Herbert. And you guys are all there in the AFC. And then it's just going to be like a team like the Eagles that's, the most built the strongest for the long-term push. And, because at this point, the Eagles are playing such good football that they could beat anybody in the AFC. And normally I wouldn't say that because I usually think the AFC team is typically better with like the Bills and Allen, but they have injuries on the defense. Now they don't have Von Miller. So that's another thing for you. To gain a little advantage now, because now all the Bills fans are getting worried because if you don't have Vaughn, you're not the same. And you have a lot of injuries on defense. You started off the year getting like 18 and 22 points in fantasy. You've been doing like 3 points, 4 points. Your defense isn't good. So that's why I think that the Bengals and the Chiefs legitimately have a shot to knock off Buffalo. Like it could even be a team like the Jets that like surprised the hell out of you. The Jets go to the playoffs against Buffalo and they beat them. Like, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but the way the NFL is going right now, I mean, if you're not hot and healthy, you can be a name. Just because you got Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs doesn't guarantee you're going to win the Super Bowl. But so apparently to Buffalo, it's already over. They've already won. They're jumping through the tables already. So, yeah, and that's why we need to call that out, that even though he is a legend, legends make mistakes, and we have to make sure we hold everyone accountable. And guess what? The person that probably knows it the most, it's probably him. He probably is like, dude, I fucked up today. And the cool thing is, if you ended up watching Mike McDaniel for the Dolphins, they always cue on his face, like different things on Twitter. He's so real and honest. Like, he was talking with Tua and the players and like the OC, and he's like, you can see him mouth it. He's like, I fucked up. I called the wrong. And that's when they got blown out, obviously, by the Niners. But it's cool to see people take the accountability. Some coaches never will, or people never will, but it happens. And like I said, sometimes, when you play from behind and you play a really good team that's a Super Bowl contender, and then they're playing with their backup running back, and you kind of take it for granted, but it exposed that weakness, showing you that the defensive line, even though there's names there, Carl Aptis, Frank Clark, Chris Jones, it's not good enough. Not Chief standard, not Super Bowl standard. You have to be able to plug the run, stop the run, and get to the quarterback. And I'm not seeing enough of that. It's like I got Chris Jones, but like who else? And there's no one else that's been, and I do like what I'm getting from like Willie Gay, Nick Bolton. I don't have a problem with the linebackers, but I'm very disappointed with like the D-line, and the secondary is getting chewed up, and it doesn't even matter who it is. They're missing that like leadership of like a Honey Badger, even though he hasn't been playing well, which is, sad emoji face. Like he has been struggling there. I don't know if he's losing the love for football because the Saints are a horrible team this year and he just is collecting a paycheck now. But even if he lost a step, having him still in Kansas City could have improved the overall, I think, collective, just being able to come together a little bit. So, but that's just my evaluation of watching many Chiefs games. The O-line and the D-line need to be better, and the secondary needs a lot of work. And I know they're young, but even them being young, there's been plays that they've missed that they normally make on other teams. But it's like when they play like the Bills or the Bengals, I think they just get really nervous, and they know that they're going to get ripped up by the quarterback, and they like jump the gun or they slip, and sometimes they give up the big plays. And then once the big play happens to them, they don't get over it. And they, need someone to be like, get over it, dude. All right, next play. And they think about it, and then they get burned again. And yeah, but I totally get you. I totally get you. And that's sometimes you do have to take a break. No, but it feels good to talk about it. And with me, I'm going to be real, and I follow every team as, if they're my own. So no, you're good. It's good. It's good. But you've been wanting to talk to someone that's like not objective and not a hater. Like, yeah, I mean, but the thing is like, yep. And then you haven't really designated a true number one, but Juju is the guy, Pacheco. But then sometimes you get a nice burst from McKinnon. So it's just like, it's about, okay, if you're going to use the Chiefs style offense, which is a 1-of-1, and you're going to use undersized running backs, you got to make sure the play calling is good. And you have to make sure you don't get stagnant and get flat. And, you have to be consistent with your play calls and not get too predictable. Because I see way too many RB dives where you're just running up right off the guard or the center, and you're running for 2 to 3 yards. After you do that like 20 times in the game, shouldn't a light bulb like click and think, well, going from one guy to the next isn't working, and we're still doing the same. Maybe bounce it to the outside and get a little too a little creative. But I think that they don't want to get too cute with like the underhand tosses and the trick plays, because when you do it against a good team and you fuck up and they fumble or something bad happens, that could cost you the game. But when you're playing like the Patriots, you're like, well, I don't give a shit if we fumble, whatever, we're still going to win the game. So I think that, if you want to be able to win these big games, sometimes you will have to pull out that I'm trying to be cute play. But if you execute it properly, that could be the difference between winning and losing the game. And you just have to execute that, that trick play. Like you have Travis Kelce under center, and then you run like an RPO or something, or a little shovel pass. They're missing that little flair that I think that they need to do. But also it's got to be, at the right time. So, and also going forward on 4th down, kicking the field goals, and also having a healthy Butker. If you don't have a healthy Butker, you have absolutely no shot of, getting to the AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl or winning. It's a very key piece, I feel. So I appreciate you. $5 holla for the mental health. But I feel like I said, I can have a conversation with any diehard Chief fan, even if it's someone that's watches every game for 50 years. I watch enough. Like, I treat them as like almost like my team. I'm watching almost every game. I do a lot of the games for you guys. So I feel I honestly know the Chiefs just as much as any hardcore quote unquote Chief fan. I mean, I'm really paying attention to what they're doing. And I think everyone, if you hear what I'm saying, I think most people would agree. Those are the areas that have not been good for the team this year against the good teams, and no one's going to be perfect, but at least on the bright side, Von Miller is out, right? And, you have to know what your weaknesses are. And sometimes you do struggle stopping the run against Singletary for the Bills, or, and obviously with the Bengals, their runners are more physical. They're better than Singletary. Like if you look at Samaje Perine and you look at Joe Mixon, they run to run over you. So you need to get guys that can run over them. And if you don't, then that's how they get fucking 100 yards almost every time. And I know Chief fans are like, dude, we really let Samaje Perine. Yeah, but also you're on the road. And when you're on the road, it's not the same crowd to get you back into it. There's not you're not getting this when the times are tough, right? You're getting booed, and then they're getting all the momentum. So that's another part of it too. I appreciate you. I just try to, just be very clear, not biased. I just, watch the film, I watch the games, and that's what pops out to me. So yeah, and that's the really frustrating, because if you've seen it, how many times are they doing that? It's like, I swear I see them running up the gut with Pacheco, and sometimes it works awesome, where all of a sudden like McKinnon gets 12 and Pacheco gets 8, and then he bounces the outside and gets like 4 more. Awesome. But there's just so many where it's like, I feel like it's too vanilla. It's like they're just getting like too comfortable with just doing the same rotation of plays in their little section of playbook or whatnot. So Yeah, but I think things can get better, and I still think you guys can win the Super Bowl. You guys have a better chance than the Bills. And statistically speaking, once you go to the Super Bowl, you typically don't go. So that would eliminate the Bengals. So if you can just find a way to stay hot and healthy, it could be you or the Eagles with the Lombardi at the end of the year. So that's what I'm kind of feeling. So, but I appreciate you. Yeah, and I don't mind going a little bit longer, like I said, but we're getting to a point where we should cut it off just because, like I said, we're almost at 11 o'clock. So that way I can let my, girlfriend's daughter sleep. So, but we did get a little bit more talking in, but I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for all the support. I'll go get, some food and then try to get something for Paisley in the morning from Petco to treat her. So thank you so much for your guys' time. You guys are fantastic. We got to see food, talk a little mental health. We did a whole lot of stuff here. We'll go down a few of these photos here and just kind of take a quick peek on the things that we looked at today to kind of brighten the mood. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for all the support and the donos. And we'll be doing this tomorrow, the Raiders and the Rams. And I definitely have some food options. And then we did a little bit of the Cats. It's always great. And then we got into ramen, which is good. Noodles. I can taste these. This one right here is the cream of the crop, though. If this was full screen, then it's like, I don't know what I can put into words with this photo, but if based off taste and what's in that bowl, that is a pure 10 out of 10. If you've had this before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't, go get it because it will change your life. Very good. Then pad thai is always good. And then we, I did a little penguin action too. So I appreciate you guys very, very much. You guys are the best. Oh, Kelsey Bros Super Bowl. And it could happen. That would be a great thing for them to be able to do as well. And then, obviously there'll be some distractions there. The parents would be so proud, but yeah, I definitely could see that happening. I hope you feel better. No worries. Thank you so much for doing what you did. You did a lot more, even in your situation that, even if it was 0 and you just came in and hung out, I would have been completely fine. Hopefully things get better for you mentally, physically, things get good with the doctor, go in there. And anytime you're feeling a little low, come in here, hang out. I'm going every day, regardless if people come or not. Like it could be nobody here. I'm still going to work every day, no matter what. So I appreciate you. And like I said, I'll be back tomorrow and we'll end up doing the game, the Raiders and the Rams. I'll be live at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. Thank you guys so much for all your support, love, donos, conversations. And I look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow, if possible. Have a great rest of your night. Have a great rest of your week. And make sure to do the little things. They definitely will help moving forward. Love you. Appreciate you. And I'm out. Gang.